Hello, everyone, and welcome to the live 3-hour Power Rangers marathon. I am Captain Logan, and behind me is Eric Holden. I'm Woody. Dum 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 da dum dum.
That's fun getting all these toys to play with.
Yeah, tonight we're just watching Power Rangers and playing with toys. That's what. Oh, sorry, Trini, I forgot you hate heights. Anyway, so tonight we are going to watch 3 hours of Power Rangers, or as long as it takes to watch 8 episodes. With us talking sometimes a little bit in between, and hopefully there won't be any technical difficulties. Sorry that we're starting so late. Those of you watching live with us, my entire internet shut down on me right before we started, like seconds before we were about to begin. And luckily, it's back up for us, and we are able to continue and get this party started. So this is another of our Patreon goal marathons, and we've got just one more of these to do until we hit another Patreon goal. And we've lost a couple patrons here and there over the last couple of weeks, so we're going to have to get all the way back to 400 and past it in order to do another one of these. So if you like seeing these marathons, help us out on Patreon. We sure appreciate it. And so we're doing this, and then sometime in the next couple of weeks or a month, we're also going to do Buffy. That'll be the next one. So anyway, tonight, Eric and I have each chosen 4 of our favorite episodes from different series to watch with you, and we wanted to do kind of a nice smattering of Power Ranger episodes, and we're going to do them in order of release, beginning with tonight's Mighty Morphin entry. And without further ado, before we get rolling on it, I should also introduce, of course, our chat moderator and our awesome intern, Alden. Alden, thanks for being with us, sir.
I remember none of this. Let's do it.
Alden is here strictly to moderate comments and react to silly things on the screen, and that's the point of this tonight. This is going to be a wonderful intellectual exercise.
Sure,
real deep and thoughtful intellectual exercise, watching bunches of random episodes of Power Rangers. Eric, any preamble you want to do before we get rolling on this?
No.
This was selected by an audience we had when we did Batman. Is that how this happened?
Yeah, I think that's
yeah, all the way back a few weeks ago when we did Batman 66. So finally, we're getting to this, and I got quite a few folks watching with us. So thanks a bunch for being here, and this is gonna be a lot of fun. There are some things we're gonna watch tonight that I've never seen before, because I have a gap in my Power Rangers knowledge when we get to like the middle of it. So well, and I mean, like, there's a lot of seasons I don't know, but particularly right after Space. I wasn't watching, so I don't know Lost Galaxy, I don't know Lightspeed Rescue, and that's some of Eric's favorite stuff.
And I only know Lightspeed Rescue and Time Force.
Oh, Lightspeed Rescue rocks!
That was like I said to Cap, that's my kindergarten, like first grade, first exposure stuff.
That was the first series I got to watch like live. Like I jumped in with Lost Galaxy, and then that was the first one like I got to start and watch all the way through, and then I dropped off.
Titanium Ranger was my jam as a child. I don't think anything was.
We're doing the first 2 Titanium Ranger episodes tonight.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that.
The episode selection is in the description if you want to keep up with what we're doing tonight, and it's also I also made sure and put it on Facebook so people would know before we got started what we were doing tonight. We're going to start with a 2-parter from Mighty Morphin, the Power Transfer, which is the introduction of Serpentera, Lord Zedd's big insane Megazord, and it's some of the best Lord Zedd stuff, so that's why I picked that, and that's what we're going to begin with.
Are we going to tell everybody which episodes were which of our picks? Tell everybody which episodes are which of our picks, or will that be self-evident?
No, I mean, we can. Yeah, it probably is self-evident, but I picked the early stuff and Dino Thunder, and Eric picked everything else. It's that simple. Anyway, so once again, Alden is going to moderate the chat tonight, and folks, feel free to write down anything you want to in the comments as we go along. Anything you want to make sure that we point out, or questions you have for us as we go along. Your contributions to the dialogue and the commentary as we go along this evening. If you want to leave any super chats, we'll make sure that all of those, of course, are brought up and mentioned, and that's a good way to make sure that you get that your comment gets noticed. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and just get started, shall we? So our first episode tonight, like I said, is the Power Transfer. It's season 2, episode 27 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. All of Power Rangers is on Netflix, which all didn't know until we got this started. He was like, I'm just going to moderate the chat. I'm not even going to watch. I'm like, I don't own these. I was like, do you have Netflix? Can you watch Netflix?
Now I'm so much more excited. I was like, I thought to myself, I was like, I'm going to have my own tangents tonight. I'm going to be fielding questions about Cap and Eric. You know, Connor already commented on Eric's sweet shave, so we had something going.
And this will be a really, relaxed, informal kind of evening, of course. So if you guys want to talk about other things and ask us about stuff and have us talk about other things here and there besides Power Rangers, you're welcome to put things in the comments. But I can't promise that we'll always answer all of those things because we, of course, want to make sure that we're also tackling the task at hand. But like I said, really informal kind of commentary marathon. Power Rangers Season 2, Episode 27. Make sure you're in Mighty Morphin and not some other place. Although it's the only series that has multiple seasons, so you won't have any trouble with that if you're going to Netflix. Hopefully everybody's ready. Let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. Everybody, please press play. Hope you're at timestamp 0. Everybody, please press play right now.
After 10,000 years, I'm free.
No, Lord Zedd didn't get trapped for 10,000 years. That's why he's cooler than Rita.
Yeah, he's just hanging out doing other stuff.
Yeah.
To show up.
I forgot how.
Yeah, I'd love to know what he's been doing for the last 10,000 years. I'm sorry, what, Alden?
I was just saying, I forgot how hyped up this opening is.
This was the reason the show was popular, right? It's just this high-octane feel.
I just met Amy Jo Johnson. She's really sweet.
Oh, man, she's the only of the originals that's still alive that I have not met.
I didn't get like a picture or anything. I met her in passing. She had like her rolling suitcase and she was coming around a corner in the convention center. And Jason David Frank was right behind her.
She rarely does conventions.
Yeah, they were really hyped to get her. It was a big deal for a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, we have almost gotten her at Planet. It hasn't happened yet, but hopefully in the next couple of years it will.
Is this the intro for this episode?
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing White Ranger and he's still the Green Ranger.
That's a good point. Maybe they messed it up with this.
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, because Netflix does sometimes do that. So one of the reasons I picked this episode, Judd Lynn's one of the big, well-known for Power Rangers good writers.
I didn't realize you went back this far.
Oh yeah. One of the reasons I picked this episode is because this is where we lose 3 of the originals, but we already have lost them. We just don't know it yet because they use footage they already had, and it kind of kept Jason and Zach and Trini just out of as many shots as they could for the last 20 or something episodes. I think it's going back that far, isn't it? Because didn't they lose them at the beginning of the season?
Like 10.
Is it? Okay.
If that, I don't think it's 20.
It's hilarious how much it is though, and this episode will pretend like they're still here. And just wait till you get to the silhouette scene because it's wonderful. Because we've got people voicing over silhouettes and pretending to be those actors. And the guy who's voicing Jason just yells a lot. He's like, yeah! And he just yells a lot.
So they should have been Peace Ambassadors, right? Like that was the clear right choice, was Bulk and Skull as Peace Ambassadors.
Yeah, why would they want that gig? I mean, sure, they want to go to Germany for a minute, but why would they actually want that gig? Well, they don't know yet that when you get that gig, you'll be doing it for years. Doesn't make sense, but that's kind of what happens.
Yeah, it's not like an internship.
People actually look like this.
Yep, here's that silhouette. All 3 of us? Yeah, that's not Austin St. John.
Yeah. That's how my friends and I when I left Florida. That's what it looked like.
He's hilarious. That's all it takes to get rid of 3 Rangers. Why didn't we just give them an invitation to Germany?
Nobody understood style quite like Lord Zedd.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is before we totally took his teeth away. So he was still relatively kind of frightening at this point.
I think you mean when we added character dimension and gave him an RV to tool around in.
Yeah. Oh, Switzerland, okay.
And this is stock footage,
That's
which is why
stock
they're
footage.
not standing together.
Yeah. And it's funny because the editors of this show are very used to using footage they have already.
Yep.
and integrating that in with whatever new stuff they've shot. So all they have to do is write around things they've already got. So you just need a scene where Zach or someone says thanks and you're good.
You know, working on the show must have been a really interesting boot camp for a lot of these people in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Power Rangers is almost like the new soap operas.
That's a really good point, yeah. Especially because we have seen now some actors get pretty big after this. And go to other, and also just, you know, people behind the scenes going to different jobs.
Oh, I'm so glad you gave me a new Zord just before we needed to go fight this super powerful Zord.
No, the real question, Billy, is how come you didn't bring this up before? This is a thing all the time. Where it's just you just have this lying around.
Well, when someone said Zedd has completed Serpentera, why wouldn't you stop him before that if you knew he was doing it?
Well, Zordon is omnipotent and knows everything Zedd does all the time, but still somehow gets surprised. I mean, the viewing globe will show them things they're doing inside their lair on the moon.
Would stopping Zedd making Serpentera count as escalating the fight? Do they have to wait until Serpentera is complete before they can stop him?
That rule is so easily interpreted. It's just like the Prime Directive. I never know exactly what counts. I had that question the other day reading the new Go-Go Power Rangers comic, where I kind of have expected Zordon to be like, well, you can't escalate the fight. You guys can't go up to the moon. But then people were kidnapped, and that's why they went. And like that shouldn't count. You should be able to go rescue someone who gets kidnapped. So I guess that's
they're
okay.
Flying.
Wow.
Oh, he is white.
I
thought
he
was
white.
green in this.
I just expected that you were right about that, but
I thought this was the episode where Jason or Tommy gives Jason the shield.
No. The power transfer is referring to the new Rangers taking over.
Okay. I thought Serpentera was the episode where he gives him. Oh, that makes sense because that happens in the Sentai, and that would be season 1 footage. Okay, yeah. Nope, I'm just wrong.
That's cool. Even the early stuff, you tend to sort of know better than me, even though you don't like the stuff as well as I do. Or maybe there's just certain bits of it that you remember better than I do.
Maybe so.
By the way, that dope channel wants to know which of you is Bulk and which of you is Skull.
That's tough. I mean, I'm smaller than Eric, so that would almost make me Skull, but personality-wise,
I'm probably more Skull because Bulk's the more boisterous one.
Yeah, that's probably right.
And I like to stand behind Cap and just kind of repeat what he said, but with different words.
Yeah, and I like boss you around and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes me Bulk.
There you have it.
There it is.
And
we figured that out. Man, I wish all the mysteries were this easy.
What was that?
I said I wish every mystery was this easy to solve.
Oh yeah, that was pretty easy. You guys really nailed that one immediately.
Thanks, man.
Cap, have you ever met Serena Vincent? She was the Yellow Galaxy Ranger.
No, I haven't, and I don't know that show.
I'm a big fan of Serena Vincent.
She was probably at Morphicon. I'm not sure though.
Big fan.
There it is. There's Serpentera. So that, like many of these toys, is not cheap. That's one I've still got my eyes out to eventually grab. I didn't pull all my stuff out. I got a few things here. I got my Dragon Zord. I got the original Dragon Zord. I have a couple of the Megazords in the back that I haven't pulled out, but yeah.
Have they ever sold Zedd's staff?
No, that wasn't on a toy, but it should have been.
Yeah, man. I was just.
But
looking
I wanted to get a replica.
I want that.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
That looks like a completely different place. It doesn't look like you shot in the same location, put a filter on it at all.
Yeah, but the filter's cool.
It's true. Oh, that's why there's acidity.
You can always tell when it's. Obviously, just because of the film quality, you can tell when it's Sentai and when it's not. But one of the tells also is if we go to another planet or another place or something, and it's supposed to be exotic and alien and strange. If it's interesting, it's the Japanese footage, and if it's lame and dull, we shot it.
What a reputation.
In season 2,
there's some cool stuff floating around in the sky. This is Sentai footage. Sorry, what?
In season 2, most of the footage.
Oh man, it's Lord Zedd.
Most of the Ranger footage is still them, technically, but they shot it for us. They never used it for anything. Although, like, the colorway shot to the floating thing is probably from Die Ranger. I think Die Ranger is what follows you, Ranger.
You notice this guy's still voicing Jason. He's still just yelling everything. And he's doing a decent sound-alike for when Jason's yelling, but Jason's not always. Now, when he's morphed, he is usually yelling. That's true.
Do you think these three are going to be important, or do you think we're just, establishing a scene?
Well, and of course, they've been around already a few episodes.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we established them, is it at the very beginning of the season? I forget, but I think, I'm trying to remember if it's when we introduced Lord Zedd or
Power Rangers is really bad at just all of a sudden switching.
Yeah.
And things like that, where it's like, hey, the new Ranger is that new guy we just met today.
No, they've actually had them around for a while, and that's probably the tell of when we've lost the other three actors, right. Because they're trying to set them up to become the new Rangers. And it's really obvious right away that that's what they're going to be, but at least we linger for a while with it. I think it'd be cool to introduce 4 or 5 kids at once and have like contenders for Rangers. And I don't know if we've ever done that even in other shows.
I don't think so.
Where you have like other people who are kind of like trying out to be a Power Ranger.
Other actors cost money.
Well, that's true, but we'll have other supporting characters. I mean, like you have kids that aren't Rangers. You could totally do that.
That's true.
So Bulk was one of my favorite things about Morphicon. That guy is a class act and talked to us for a good long time on camera. And he loved Jason. He and Jason hung out for about 15 minutes.
That was really convenient.
And if you haven't seen our Morphicon video, go check that out because Jason, my 7-year-old, interviewed a number of Mighty Morphin alum. And it's a cute video. And we had a whole lot of fun. And he fights a cog in that video.
And he gets karate lessons.
But the cog won. The cog beat up my kid.
I mean,
and he got karate lessons from Austin St. John. It was great. I wish we'd been able to get that on camera, but he asked me not to film it.
That's because he was teaching him all those sweet moves.
He was so classy about it too. He was like, no, I'd rather just have like a one-on-one session with him. And he went in a corner and it wasn't just that he didn't want me to film it. He didn't want me to watch it. Like he wanted Jason to have a personal experience that was all his own.
That's really cool.
One of the coolest things I've ever seen at a convention. Yeah.
I'm going to believe that that's scientifically accurate.
See, these kids are very sympathetic because they're being proactive, and even though they don't have powers, they're going to go help the Power Rangers, Eric.
Well,
so I really care about them.
Well, they were teleported to a station and then told you're going here. I don't know if that counts as proactive.
But you know what? Whatever they don't.
No, they volunteered. I mean, they didn't have to do. They volunteered. Okay. Well, and also, this is because we're in the middle of some stuff that's been going on. They have helped them in the past, and they know Zordon.
Okay.
I'm sorry. What are you saying?
I was just saying, whatever they lack in productivity, they make up for with those sweet flannel shirts. That's a power.
Yeah. Hey, his mouth's not moving. Now it is.
I wish we could have a show that was all just Zedd flying around the universe in Serpentera. Like, I want the Lord Zedd bridge just all the time. This show was just like 87 Ninja Turtles for me, where I was just waiting until the villains were on the screen. It was in Ninja Turtles, and specifically in Ninja Turtles, it had to be Krang and Shredder together, making fun of each other and bantering and quipping and stuff. And in this, it's just Lord Zedd, annoyed with his minions, shocking things, and freaking out on people.
You know, when they got in Serpentera, see, they made classic villain mistake. Goldar immediately said power to maximum. You don't start at maximum. Now you got nowhere to go.
I can't remember if one of those putties kicks that soccer ball, but I feel like there's an episode where there's like balls on a field and they're the putties just start playing with them.
Was that landing laughter? Was that necessary?
I'm landing!
He's extremely happy about his own epic entrance.
Serpentera is, I think, maybe even to date, I'm not sure, but was, especially at the time, the biggest Megazord. And it's massive, and like the Thunder Megazord next to it is like super tiny.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever done anything.
It's like a tenth of the size or less. It's like
Lightspeed gets the train Megazord that's significantly larger than its regular Megazord, but I don't know what that would be.
It's not quite a Borg cube versus the Enterprise, but it's much smaller in scale compared to Serpentera. Oh, I guess we actually see the scale here a little bit with the what is it, the Red Battlezord?
Well, yeah, we saw it when he was flying past it. Oh, because I have not yet watched Die Ranger. Is if Serpentera comes from that show, I'd imagine he must.
Yeah,
because we're seeing footage with the Zords together, so I would imagine that he must be from.
I was gonna say, I wondered if maybe he was from even some other show. Have we ever done that though, where it's like not even Power Rangers, it's some other Sentai?
No, we've
never. I
never.
don't think they ever did that.
If anyone doesn't know, season 2 of Power Rangers, all of the Zord footage is from the next Sentai series after Zyuranger. It's Die Ranger. So all the Zord stuff comes from a different show, but we're still shooting Ranger stuff for the original aesthetic.
So the vague, bigger Zord gives you more power thing never ends up making a whole lot of sense. I don't know what it is about Tor that makes the Megazord better now. I guess he's just got a big shell so he can protect them. Is that all it is?
Yeah.
But I tell you,
that is a thing.
Bigger means more power, so it worked out.
Yeah, that is a thing we do a lot. Where well, and yeah, you're making a toy commercial, so you know you're trying. You want to sell people on bigger is better. But that's the thing we do all over Power Rangers, where we'll have some other Zord that encompasses a smaller Zord, and then now somehow or rather it's more ferocious.
Well, and weapon-wise, I feel like bigger does tend to be better, right? Like a bazooka is more powerful than a handgun, and an assault rifle is more powerful than a handgun.
Does anybody else feel like this is not a mission that requires this many Rangers?
Or a map? It's Wasteland.
He's looking at
Go that way.
Go to the city.
Is this the...
Is that the...
I know they get a sword here. Is this the Damocles sword, or is that even another sword that they get later? There's a whole Damocles sword thing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's outside of like the general mythology they pull from.
I know. But then sometimes they do just mix in random mythologies.
That's true.
I mean, yeah, they usually like to go for fairy tales and fables. And Wizard of Oz.
Well, because that's what the set I was doing.
Yeah.
It's a statue that looks like it's from, I don't know, Greek, Roman, Earth?
Something. It's a statue from antiquity. Alden, are you seeing anything interesting in the comments?
We had a brief philosophical discussion on whether or not it's okay for Zordon to recruit children into a war.
That's awesome.
And then somebody also posed the question, why doesn't Zedd just kidnap civilians and turn them into putties?
Oh, there's a lot of questions about the villains and why they don't why they don't just do anything other than what they do every single time.
Why isn't any other plan considered at all?
Why not attack the Rangers while they're sleeping? You know where they are and who they are. And here in a minute, you're going to see Lord Zedd destroy an entire planet. Spoiler alert, he destroys this whole planet with Serpentera.
There's rules to conduct. There's a Power Rangers Geneva Convention-esque thing. And they don't want to break those rules. It's tradition.
Could we, in this show, maybe have some kind of story bit about, I don't know, the eyeball that's in the middle of the pyramid?
Oh, I guarantee you that's something that's sent out.
Oh, of course, yeah. Could we talk about it? Could it be something? The big problem with the show, obviously, is generification, and that if you go back and look at the Sentai, it's all so much more interesting. but I grew up on Power Rangers, and it's in English, so...
Well, and I'm pretty sure...
I have gone back and looked at some of the Sentai and have really enjoyed what I've seen.
I'm pretty sure whatever the villain in Die Ranger is, he's not as cool as Lord Zedd.
Yeah.
Actually, interestingly, what I've seen of people talking about Die Ranger, that seems to be the #1 complaint, is that the villains are kind of boring.
Oh, man. That's not the problem with Bandora.
No, not at all. She hates children.
And is the creator of the Music Genome Project. So he's destroying an entire planet, which is awesome. And this is why Zedd is scarier than Rita, because she never did anything like this. But then the problem, of course, is not making a villain feel really lame when they can't beat these interchangeable, like, not that interesting teenagers.
That's really well lit.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the reasons I picked this episode, too, is because some of the stuff that is cool is stuff we shot. Because obviously all the Zedd stuff is always us, because they... Or did we send them a suit and have them shoot some stuff? Because I know we've done that with some things, right?
Well, that's how most of the Ranger footage is in Season 2, is they shot footage for us.
So did they shoot any Lord Zedd, or was that all on stages here? Because
I feel like it has to be there, because you've seen what our Ranger suits look like compared to their Ranger suits. It's always way cheaper looking.
Yeah.
So I would have to assume that Japan did it, but I don't know. But
I'm wondering, because... like if we shot that stuff here, that means we built that set, and it's small, but it's a cool looking set.
Yeah.
I mean, the inside of Serpentera. So anyway, that's the end of part 1 of Power Transfer, and we're gonna watch the second part. Obviously, the Power Transfer has yet to have happened because we're still dealing with the original Rangers, but not played by those actors or hardly any actors. Really, it's pretty much just people walking around in.
I wish one of the voices was just Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
I wish it was just like him doing Trini or something.
Or just all 3 of them.
Oh, that'd be great.
It's like, okay, Bryan Cranston, when you do Jason, just yell a lot. And when you do Trini, just say something about how you don't like heights. And when you do Zach, just talk like really fast.
Cranston's that good.
He's that good. He's like, wait, I have to rap? What? I have to do a hip hop? What?
Last time you just said say "arg," and I did that, and I got my paycheck and I left.
That's all I want to do in Power
Rangers. I'm gonna get you, Rangers.
It is real cool that he got to be in a Ranger suit ever so briefly, and yeah, in that new movie. And
I thought you were talking about the interview he did in the Ranger suit.
That was awesome, by the way. What show was that? Was it
Fallon?
Was it? No, it wasn't Fallon. I think it was Colbert, and I think it was Tonight Show, yeah, and he had, or not Tonight Show, Colbert's late show, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, they had him show up in the Ranger suit and in a Red Ranger suit, and he conducts like a third of the interview with the mask on, and then just and then all of a sudden Colbert's like, that must be really hot in there. You want some help taking that off? And he's like, yes, please. And then he like helps him get the notcher things off. And then he's like, and before that, Colbert's like, why are you wearing that suit? And he's like, well, I've always wanted to be a Ranger. And it was just the best thing. Anyway, let's move on to the second part of My Mighty Morphin Choice.
And it's
the power transfer.
The theme when Netflix just goes through. So are we starting at 0 again?
Yes. Yeah. Make sure to get it back to 0, everybody. Whenever that happens, just chuck it back to 0. And everybody get ready to press play when I say now. Here we go. Everybody, please press play, right? Now. I realize over the internet there's some delays, so we're not always going to be together, but we'll be as together as we can be.
We're all bonded by this theme song anyway.
Yes. Obviously, the intro changes a whole lot, and I always like that with Power Rangers, that whatever the status quo is, they always go ahead and change the intros. And you'll hear people like Whedon in commentaries making other shows talking about how expensive it is to change an intro, and I always want to call BS on that because Power Rangers did it like every few weeks.
Maybe that's what when he went.
I kind of want this theme song to just be like a plant explode, like just what happened last episode. Like this is the status quo. There's a plant. Just
wouldn't it be great if every episode we just introduce it with what happened last episode? You get really innocuous episodes.
But it's like different angles of the same planet explosion.
So like the episode after the one with just all the football puns is just the football monster and a bunch of people throwing a football around. Be great. But yeah, that was always one of my favorite versions of the intro, just because it's so fast paced and the editing is so quick clipped like that.
I think step one is getting out of these chains.
We should work on that. That doesn't look that hard.
No,
honestly, I feel like I can just pick one of them up out of them right now. Oh, they are going to do something with that soccer ball.
Yeah,
I knew I remember this. Yeah, Adam is the best. He's great. You're dumb.
It's unfortunate
that they
don't write him more personality, because Johnny Bosch is great.
Yeah.
He's still my favorite.
And like he does the best he can with what he's got. Oh, they kick him in the Z with the ball. That's what it was. I forgot.
Where was he keeping those keys? Was he just holding them?
Eric and I did commentaries on the episodes that introduced Zedd and made fun of the fact that they act like those putties are so much more powerful than regular putties. And that they're geniuses for figuring out that if you hit the Z, they explode.
Do we need 3 punches?
I just love it. I just love that they turn it into like a detective story. Oh, how do we stop them?
Because they're unstoppable, except if you hit the Z on their chest.
Why doesn't Lord Zedd just find some way to cover that up, or like nail something in front of it?
Or they've got other Zs, like they've got like the knee pad Zs and stuff. Maybe like it's random, like what Z it is.
Yeah. Or you just put it in their face. They never punch them in the face.
They should make a VR headset game of fighting putties and trying to hit the Zs.
Why are we still playing soccer?
That sounds great. Yeah, why are we still playing soccer?
Is there one left? Because we haven't cut to them.
They're like, well, we have the soccer ball, and that's... Oh, they're taking that thing out.
I feel like you just hucked it.
That seemed like a really elaborate and unnecessary way to take that out. But once again, we have to establish the very important fact that the Power Rangers are athletic.
And they already didn't get why Adam was getting the soccer ball in the first place. He kicks over them. I feel like the reaction would just be, why are we playing soccer again?
Meanwhile, back in the imaginative show...
Back on Star Killer base, evidently, in the sky.
Wait, are we going to the planet they're on?
I always talk about how when we're kids, we really fill in the blanks with shows like this. And when I was a kid, the whole show was this stuff. And it wasn't this stuff. But
it mostly wasn't this stuff.
But you give us a little of this and we go the whole 9 yards. And this is what the show is. Oh, that's good deductive reasoning there, Billy.
You're a genius.
Genius.
I want friends like that. I could do anything, and I'm a genius.
No, you don't.
Yeah, it always feels like this show has the same rules that Star Trek: The Next Generation had, because our main characters aren't allowed to have any conflict with each other whatsoever, and hardly. They always get along. They're just the best of friends.
And if they're not getting along, they'll resolve it in 20 minutes.
Or less. Or your pizza is free.
After one planet?
Yeah, because he's that much of a narcissist. And I don't know if you caught it before, but he's like, the whole universe will belong to me, and it should be really difficult for him to even get back home, because Goldar said he would take all of the power of this of Serpentera in order to destroy this planet, and he's like, no, that's fine, I'm gonna do it anyway. Quit questioning me.
Non-linear stuff?
What do you mean?
Well, we saw him blow up the planet, and then he just blew up the planet.
Well, you see, the mistake they made was not slowing down that footage more. It's exploding a lot of the planet, and then when you see it again, it's more of what you saw already. And then if you see it again, it's sort of that like ticking time bomb where it's like 10, and then it should go down to like 6, but the next time you see the clock, it says 9. It's like that.
Okay. He's dead. Sorry.
Yeah. Tommy wasn't supposed to be in the show anymore anyway, so it's okay.
Oh, he's supposed to get his own show.
That's right. Except I think it was going to be Jason David Frank playing a different character.
Yeah, no, he was going to be...
Wasn't it like some other Sentai thing that we were going to commandeer?
What's that other one? the cyber one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He was going to be the lead in VR Troopers.
VR Troopers, yeah.
And the guy who's the lead in VR Troopers was going to be the White Ranger.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's what it was.
The way Jason David Frank tells it is they did the white. They put him in white because they got too many complaints from parents that their kids like wouldn't go to school or do their homework or eat because there was no Green Ranger anymore.
Oh,
I don't know how true that is, but it's funny.
Isn't it?
Yeah, let's not pretend like we're surprised by the conveniently 3 people that we just met recently that are going to be Power Rangers. I'm sorry. What is that?
Isn't it only like a couple of weeks between green and white? It's not that long, right?
Well, but also you got that whole long period where we kind of keep going back and forth on whether or not he's going to keep his powers.
Well, yeah.
Wow, that looks like a $10 high school production
totally
prop. Yeah.
And so now we have some like really important art that could be like majorly impacting our society if you could just restore that too. No? Okay.
Also, by sort of light, you meant cardboard thing that was in Billy's basement. Okay.
Now, if
Well,
you're
I guess
a
you wouldn't have
kid
a basement
watching this
in
as it
California.
comes out and like you don't know anything about production, how hyped must you be to see all these Rangers together, 2 reds, 2 yellows,
That's true. Yeah.
for all of those
For
2
the
seconds?
6 seconds.
He says we'll see them again soon, but we won't.
No. But we will see one of them soon, because my next pick is the next time you see Jason after the Turbo movie.
And then he gets brainwashed and he turns evil.
He does. Mm-hmm.
Is that the last time we see Jason?
Oh, no, I'm
forever.
sorry. I said after Turbo. No, it's before Turbo,
Yeah, it's
obviously.
before Turbo.
Obviously. What am I
Yeah.
talking about?
We know all of this already, Zordon. What if it was somebody else when she took the mask off? What was the third? What if it was yet another person?
I love the Thunder Megazord.
Yeah,
I love the Zords that transform into other Zords. I think it's cool. What was that?
I don't know.
Zordon should be like, you're not supposed to use your powers for anything but saving the Earth. You don't use your powers for a huddle, okay?
So they didn't get the never escalate a fight rule. So they could do the thing of like, well, you never told me that, so I didn't know.
You
I
never
love that
said
Alpha 5 has to say all their names again just to reinforce it for the kids.
Yeah, that's how we overcompensate and pretend like they have character traits and there's anything 3-dimensional and interesting about them.
To be fair, with adult television, we've gone the other way. I feel like I could watch half a season and not know
Oh,
what a
I
character's
forgot
name
he was
is.
in this. Okay, so this guy, this horn guy, Silverhorns, I think is his name. I used to have that action figure, and nobody bought the Silverhorns figure because I found it at a dollar store.
So, Don, why say emergency situation? Every situation you bring to us is an emergency. Just say situation. Saves time.
You know, Billy, if you were really a good inventor, you would have built a viewing globe into the communicators.
Or a good Serpentera.
A good Serpentera. Oh, a good guy Serpentera.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. They should have had that.
You call them Power Puffs.
Oh, wow. That's great. He also sounds like a Powerpuff Girls monster.
You know what, guys? This
Listen
Power Rangers
to him.
theme seemed cool, but never mind. I didn't know I was going to get shot.
I didn't know I was going to get my heart charred. I'm done with this. It's my potty pals. I'm going to fight the Powerpuffs. Wow, this monster is so much more fun after Powerpuff Girls. He's just a Powerpuff Girls monster in Power Rangers before Powerpuff Girls.
That's a crossover I'd like to see.
Me too.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
really good idea. And I imagine IDW and Boom would play real nice with each other. I don't know if they've crossed anything.
That'd be really
Oh,
cool.
boy. I'm going to write letters, you guys. I'm going to do it.
Let's do a Kickstarter or a change.org petition.
Yes, that's what we'll do. That's a good
I
idea.
signed one of those back in the day for a sequel to Legend of Dragoon. I think we're making traction.
I've got precedent, man. I did it for Clock King.
Well, I signed
I'm
that.
gonna do it.
I was like 14.
What?
I signed
Dragoon.
I signed the petition to build the United States Death Star, and I also signed the petition to make a fleet of X-wings to fight the Death Star. I was playing both sides.
What would happen if the second petition had passed, but the first one did not?
Then we're just really impressive. We have a whole fleet of X-wings.
They're just gonna fly around until somebody finally builds that Death Star.
We will patrol the skies.
See, what makes Zedd evil is that when he calls someone brilliant or a genius, he's being sarcastic.
I've never seen that one before, Zedd.
Oh man,
curveball.
I think Robert Axelrod is legitimately a really good voice actor, and I wish he'd gotten more work. Because he's really good at voice modulation. His characters never sound the same. He does Zedd and Finster, and obviously they sound real different. Now, to be fair, Zedd is somewhat modulated, but when you hear him do it in person, it's real close. It's almost like there's no modulation.
Oh, man.
Right.
Modulation, I mean, like, something done to it in post. What are you saying?
Zordon was like, hey, remember you have that new Turtle Zord I gave you? And they were like, oh, yeah, that's right.
We'll throw that at him and use it this one last time. No, Tor comes back a few times. Now, that's one of those toys that's not that expensive when you find it, comparatively.
Hey, Cap.
Yeah.
You ever want to do a Bible Man commentary marathon? Had to ask that one.
We wouldn't do it as a marathon, probably, just because Bible Man's one of those few things that I can very safely get away with actually using the footage of and putting on the channel. So, and nobody's going to own those. So if I do a commentary, nobody's going to know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, I would...
We've been talking about doing another one of those soon.
We are talking about doing another commentary for those, and I've got 4 more. So, yeah, people really liked the last one.
And then one day we realized it was 6 months ago that we did it. And we were like, well, we don't want to oversaturate it with too many Bible. Oh, it's been 6 months.
It's been forever. We should probably do another one of those now. But yes, we will be doing another Bible Man commentary.
Probably
that's so trippy.
Probably the Fiendish Works of Dr. Fear if anyone wants to get their hands on that ahead of time. Because that's the one I had as a kid.
But again, they won't have to because we'll be able to just... Unless they want to watch it without our voices over it.
Yeah, if you want to get prepped.
You want to get ready. Oh, man, look at him go.
So
this stuff all looks really cool, though.
And it all makes more sense when you realize that the season of Sentai is martial arts based.
Oh.
So that's why
that's cool. So the Zords actually fight like martial artists, sort of.
Yeah, as much as
can.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but I don't know any martial arts expert that's able to take their hand and rotate it 360 degrees over and over and over again. I don't know anybody that could do that, but
me neither. I'll tell you, it should be. If it's anybody, it's going to be a Power Rangers. So.
Don the Dragon Wilson might be able to do that.
Even Tommy, he might have a corkscrew kick, but he doesn't have a corkscrew hand, He can't make that happen. I just love that unabashedly they're action figures and they just work like action figures. If you're a kid and you have that figure, we all did that, right? You put a pole in a guy's hand, you have it spin around.
Oh yeah.
I mean, why couldn't a robot do that?
Sure. No, and of course a robot could do that. But they thought of it because of regular action figure articulation.
Wait a second.
What
happened to Serpentera? How come we stopped attacking? Why did we send this monster down?
It probably ran out of power.
Oh, it's red sun powered, and it can't come to Earth because it'll get.
Silverhorns. I can't believe I remember that. On Ron Wasserman's album, unfortunately, he wasn't able to do the White Tiger power song, which is unfortunate. I always liked that. He said at the convention that he was only allowed to use, for whatever reason, music that had already been on CDs before, that they had released before. So he couldn't go back and re-record and remaster anything that wasn't something they put out already. So there were a few songs that I was really glad that they had put out before. That's on Spotify if anybody wants to go listen to it.
This is real embarrassing, guys. Just Serpentera, just not moving, just standing there.
Luckily, there's no one on this planet we allegedly destroyed.
Well, they did the Voltron thing. Voltron used to have that where, because Voltron, the Japanese show is really violent, and planets full of people are annihilated every episode. And in the American version, it's just, oh, thank God, all the people got to their bunkers. It's really good that they evacuated the planet before they blew it up. That's what we played by here. Toy's over there.
I'm a little sad because here, hey, tick face is not always an insult. I'm a little sad because here in a few minutes we're gonna be past Mighty Morphin already.
I've always liked this effect that they keep the old ones and then lightning bolt it. And
that's what I was mentioning earlier
yeah.
when they have the originals that transform into the other ones. There's no reason for it, but it's cool. It's just so that they can keep. I mean, I know what they're doing. It's so that they can keep the dinosaur themes of the costumes when they don't have it with the Zords. Because they really should have changed costumes by now with the other Sentai, but the show is so popular, they're afraid to do that. It was always the sense I got.
Yeah, and they do eventually just kind of give up on that, probably because it was too much work.
Well, they give up on it by Zeo.
Yeah.
Once they decided to just change the whole. But yeah, but you're right. It's probably just because they didn't have any Sentai footage anymore. Or were they shooting all of their own stuff by 3?
By 3, they're shooting all the Ranger stuff.
Wow.
But the Zords still come from whatever that season was.
Rats! See, that's because you should have listened to Goldar. He's like, I should have tried to blow up this planet. I should have just made up some kind of like fake getaway trip for the other Rangers.
Oh, he's gonna break that oath.
I love Zedd. He's just my favorite thing.
I
talk about Zedd way too much on this channel. And I apologize to anyone that is tired of me talking about Power Rangers because, you know, I'm kind of a story guy and an analysis guy, and I can't do a lot of that stuff with Power Rangers because it's just goofy nostalgia trip.
We're all allowed that one. I think that one thing.
I mean, relatively, there are some okay story things here and there, but relatively, I don't mean in this. I mean in some other later Power Ranger shows, and we'll get to one of those when Power Ranger starts to look like it's actually telling stories.
Hey, look. There's those 3 guys that we know, but we don't see their faces. I'm just going to assume.
I just want through the viewing globe for Jason to be like, hey, we know you're watching us. See you later. Bye.
They just turned and winked.
Wait a minute. I don't think that's Jason at all. We should go investigate. I don't think those are our friends.
Hope they don't forget to write. Well, they just text you. Oh. It's in the past.
No, Kimberly does not get to talk about people writing people because that's how she breaks up with people.
She's a big fan of the Dear John Mother.
She is. And gets made fun of all the time for it. As soon as he figures out how to charge his Zord and get off this planet. I mean, that's the sad thing about this is, like, Zedd has a really fun, really cool plot here, and then we kind of throw him under the bus and make fun of him because he's an idiot and gets trapped on a planet.
But he still has Serpentera.
Yeah, but it's out of power. He can't leave the planet.
But they fly away.
Did they fly away? I think they were still stuck there.
Towards the moon.
Oh, okay. We were talking over it. There must have been some explanation about how they got enough power to do that.
Right. That's not my question. My question is why never used again? Oh,
Serpentera comes back.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think this epically or anything.
Well, I mean, Serpentera comes back really poorly in Forever Red.
Does it? Oh, that's right.
They just fly a motorcycle through it because the condition to make the episode was they had to sell their new motorcycle toy.
We're going to watch an early episode of Dino Thunder later, so we'll get to make fun of the motorcycles that we always introduce in the first few episodes of the show, and then we don't keep using them later. That's the thing we do all the time.
Every time.
Alden?
Sometimes in Kamen Rider.
Yes, sir.
Alden, had you watched any of Mighty Morphin at all before?
Mighty Morphin I had seen mainly the movie over and over and over again and in some episodes. Those I had not seen. I was thoroughly thoroughly pleased.
Well, I'm glad you got to see some Lord Zedd because he's the best. He's the best. There really are very few villains that have as cool of a design as Lord Zedd, and if only we could finally add some character dimension to him. That's the big thing I'm waiting for with the Boom comic. No, that's true. Goldar does have a really cool design.
Goldar, I think, is my favorite design that I've seen from Power Rangers so far.
Now, Goldar is not... We beat Goldar, in my opinion, with Zeltrax, but only by that much.
Oh, Goldar's beat by a lot of seconds.
Is he?
Yeah.
Do you agree, though, that Zeltrax is a really cool design?
Yeah, Zeltrax is a really cool design.
I love Zeltrax.
But I really like... was it Cliptor?
Oh, yes! No, you're right. Yeah, he is awesome. And looks like he should have come out of, like, a virtual reality thing or, like, a video game show or something.
Yeah. Well, which is what it was in Japan.
Oh, you're right. That was because that was space. I was sitting here trying to remember what show that was. Yeah. Alden, any comments we should address or anything before we go on to the next episode while I'm setting up here?
There's been a lot of like non-Power Rangers talk, but in the midst of it, Javier76 simply wrote Shane Black's Power Rangers, and now I'm imagining it, and I'm not sure exactly what it would be, but I'd be game.
I don't think I can. I can't imagine that.
You just have to focus on two Rangers, though.
It would just be two Rangers.
At Christmas, of course.
And they'd say the F word a lot. No, he says he's done with Christmas. Because everyone notices that he does Christmas. He's not. He's done with Christmas. That's what he said.
No, but I like it. Yeah. I thought it was cool. You know, if he could somehow bring what he brought to the third act of Iron Man 3 with all the suits to a Power Rangers fight, that'd be cool.
Oh, that would be cool.
You'd have the Ranger that was the eternal optimist and the Ranger that was the eternal pessimist.
Get Jason David Frank to be the pessimist.
Or the really like scruff villain with a Russian accent.
No, Jason David Frank would be the Joe Pesci of that movie.
I think he could play the villain. I think that'd be good. But it would have to be a Power Rangers that had a villain that was just a guy in a suit.
Yeah.
That would be pretty funny. What's up, Alden?
Are you going to do anything before we start the episode? Anything commentary-wise or gameplay-wise for the Telltale Batman, the second one?
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of requests for that because the second one's about to come out. I haven't even played through the first one yet.
About to come out?
Yeah. I guess. I haven't, or at least I got a comment about that today. I haven't looked it up, so I don't want to say that for sure. But yeah, I'm surprised they're doing that quick, if that's the case. But anyway, yeah, I haven't had a chance to play through the first one yet. There is some gameplay footage and talk from Steve when he was still doing stuff for us on the channel, if you want to go take a look at that. But I don't want to make any promises. I don't know when I'll get to it. I'm in the middle of so much other stuff.
I know I want to get to the second season because it's the Riddler season, even though I hate the design that they made. The design that they made is terrible, though.
Really?
Like, he looks like what CW Arrow would do for Riddler. He literally has a green hood. And he almost looks like the Batman Riddler crossed with Stephen Amell's Green Arrow.
That's bizarre. Okay, well, we'll see what it's like in the context of it. But
at least he doesn't have a question mark mohawk.
Yeah,
that's still the low point for Riddler.
I love that Capullo just admits he was like, guys, I just did a thing. He's like, we're moving on. Just like curly hair Joker in the same issue. He's like, we're moving on.
We were still finding ourselves, and then when we weren't able to find ourselves in 5 years, we went to Rebirth.
Oh yeah, I forgot that he does a Joker in that first
fair.
issue, and it's completely different from what he'll.
It's a Joker, but it ends up being Dick with the hollow mask thing. Yeah.
Well, and they did 2 or 3 different looking Jokers right at the beginning, because Dark Knight had a Joker too, and he was kind of different.
I thought Dark Knight just had the faceless Joker. I thought that was where that happened, didn't it? It was like that was the big splash page of the issue one was his face was off.
I thought he cut his face off in Detective.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think unless he already had it cut off when we saw him there, but I thought we saw him for a second before he got his face cut off.
That was already 5 years ago, which makes I'm not okay with how much time has already passed.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't remember anymore.
Wait, was that 5 years?
It was 5 years. Yeah, it was more than 5 years ago. I mean, 52 was 5 years long, and then we started Rebirth. Yeah.
Oh my God. What is happening?
Alden has a T-shirt with a fish playing a piano, and I just wanted to point that out and make sure that everybody.
He's a frog.
Oh, it's a frog. Oh, it's a frog playing a piano.
It's from Over the Garden Wall, which is an animated series everyone should watch.
I've heard good things.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was like a old Warner Brothers throwback or something, or maybe that show is that.
No, but it's got a style similar animation-wise. You can knock it out.
Okay.
It's a 13-episode miniseries, one and done. It's one on one disc. It's really cool.
Awesome, yeah. Well, let's go ahead and get started with our next episode. We're going to watch an episode of Power Rangers Zeo. It's Golden the Homecoming. It's episode 34 of season 1. This is another of my choices. I went for all early stuff mostly because I knew Eric would go for the later stuff. And this is, spoiler alert, the episode where Jason becomes the Gold Ranger. And this was kind of a big deal for me.
What?
Yeah, that happens.
I thought it was going to be Billy. He kept disappearing and doing other stuff.
This is not in any way like one of the best Power Ranger episodes or anything, and it's probably not even the best episode of this show. Well, it's certainly not the best episode of this show, but I wanted to watch it just because the Jason thing was a big deal to me when this came out when I was a kid, and the Gold Ranger is, to this day, probably my top 3 Ranger designs, if not my favorite. I've always really liked that one. And I always liked the trait from Trifolia thing. I thought that was kind of a cool idea.
Interesting. So the Gold Ranger.
Lets me talk about all that stuff.
In the Sentai, Ranger in Turbo, it is a little kid.
Oh, interesting.
I think
that's cool. He's like Shazam or something.
Or maybe it's the White Ranger. That is that. There is a Ranger in Sentai that is that. Now I'm questioning myself. I think it might be the White Ranger.
Let's go ahead and get into it. So make sure your timestamp 0 on episode 34 of Power Rangers Zeo on Netflix. Maybe we'll give people another minute or so to go find that real quick. And
also, the Gold Ranger's symbol on his mask and his staff means king.
Oh, cool. I should have brought down my Gold Ranger staff. I also have that, which I bought not that long ago at a vintage stock around here.
It was an ordeal because the machines were down. I remember that.
Yeah, it took us forever, but I had to have it. I was not leaving the store without it.
That was the first time my family came down.
That was my favorite Power Rangers toy when it was out when I was a kid, and that was toward the end of my Power Rangers fandom at the time, because Turbo was not good, and then I didn't watch much of Space. But I was already 12.
Was it your favorite? Because when you hit other kids with it, it hurt.
That was part of it. That was a lot of fun. There weren't a lot of other weapons at the time that you could bruise people with because they were foam rubber, and you could get a good sting with the Red Ranger sword, but the Gold Ranger staff,
man, would leave a mark, really.
Yeah, I mean you didn't need any other protection, guns in your house, anything if you had a Gold Ranger staff, man. If somebody breaks in, that's all you need. And also, I kind of think if you just ran up to the front door if somebody broke in and you turned that on and it opened up and was like, that would be the end. The people would just run away and stop robbing your house.
I'd back down immediately.
But yeah, we played with our Power Ranger weapons in the backyard a lot, and the Gold Ranger staff was really dangerous because it's just a big piece of plastic, and we would hit each other.
Like my Darth Maul saber from when I was a kid. You really hurt other neighborhood children with that double saber staff. That was.
Did yours come apart immediately? Because those are notorious for
they just break apart. Yeah,
the second blade would just fall out.
Yeah, I remember Jason's got one and it did that.
Mine was okay, but at the saber emitter, there was a little hook thing that was designed that you could flip in, so your sabers wouldn't extend if you didn't want them to. If you wanted to reenact where he only had one blade, I guess. But my hooks were both loose, so sometimes I would be like, all right, this is toward the end of the fight, and now I'm one saber maul, and the other saber would just keep sliding out. So I could never have my accuracy that I wanted.
See, that was really dangerous if you hit people with the middle, but a lot of those, they all have that softer plastic, and you could kind of hurt people with them, but just wait till you see the Gold Ranger staff, because just imagine that, but with kids playing with it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, Power Rangers Zeo, episode 34. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now.
And Eric, before the theme is over, it was the White and Gold Rangers from Die Ranger that were kids.
I was right both times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well done.
Let me know.
This is my second favorite theme song, or if I'm being contrary and not picking the obvious thing, I would probably even put this over the original sometimes.
The original for me is like the Joker.
You just
I just don't put it on lists.
Yeah, exactly. So if that's not on a list, I'm picking this. It's so catchy, and I love how relatively epic it is.
Oh, you like this show because it looks like Star Trek.
No, Space looks like Star Trek.
I don't know. Those robes look real Star Trek-y to me for some reason.
What, like
the Trey from Triforia robes?
Like Vulcan or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Romulan?
No, not really.
Okay. I mean, they don't have any tattoos, so obviously not Romulan.
Meanwhile, back in California, so one of the things that was really annoying about this when I was a kid is that I knew it was going to be Jason, and they tried to play it as a big reveal, but they showed commercials leading up to it for weeks that, like, there's going to be a human Gold Ranger that's going to take over from Trey. And they put Austin St. John's High Oz in the trailers. So if you were familiar with Power Rangers, you knew who it was.
If I ever go to Morphin Con, I'm going to cosplay as this Jason.
That's a great idea. We should just all go as different Jason costumes. Because when we went last year, Jason had my Jason cosplayed as Jason, and was wearing the red headband and the arm things and everything.
Now, if you had to say which one of these cogs is the one that beat up Jason,
I think it's the one fighting Tommy there on the left.
Okay,
I think it's that one.
Well, he just got kicked, so
yeah, he didn't stay up for a long time. But Jason wasn't fighting
it
that well, really.
Poorly on Jason, really.
Yeah, but he was kind of short and. But yeah, this Jason getup is hilarious. I feel like I would have known it was him.
That getup reminds me of Great Salmon from DBZ.
It does look kind of like Great Salmon.
So, Eric, you're right about what you said earlier, where they tried to make us think that it was going to be Billy. And it's one of the only sort of decent fake-outs they did in these shows, because he's the only other possible choice, and Jason was a cheat because he hasn't been around.
I love their power chamber. I love that they got the suits in the background.
It's real Batcavey.
Yeah.
I always thought the power chamber was cooler than the command center, and then when I got older and went back and watched this, I was surprised by how small it was. I didn't remember it being that small. When this started, and some of it's just the way they shot it and unveiled it and made a big deal out of it, I always thought it was kind of movie-worthy compared to the command center.
I really don't like the Turbo one, which ironically was in a movie.
It's not good.
Well, we just had colored tubes in the background.
So who is this Power Rangers clock?
Wait, how is it in a movie? Is it? Oh, I guess it is just the same.
No. The Turbo one was in the Turbo movie.
Yeah, but the Zeo one was also in the Turbo movie.
Oh no, I think it's different, isn't it?
Was it? Okay, I'm not sure.
Anyways, what was that?
Well, because they had their Zeo powers for a while. They just don't morph, except for
the
one time real far away.
I just wanted to know who that Power Rangers Clock King thing was.
That is King Mondo, who's the villain for the show.
That is amazing.
The
Machine King. And I guess the Machine Empire at large is the villain for the show. Oh, is this when they finally get their memories back? They play this through the whole season, and it gets real tedious. Where Goldar and Rito have lost their memories and are having to be slaves for Bulk and Skull while they're running their detective agency.
This is after they've been police officers, yes?
Yes.
Because all good detectives are burnt-out cops.
that was through season 3, yeah.
Philly Superman says they were trying to make viewers think Jason was going to be Tommy's brother.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, because they had that 2-part earlier in the season with him, who was actually his real brother, and I think he passed away not too long after that, or maybe it was several years. I forget, but he's been going a long time now.
But what caused it?
What caused what? Him to get his memories back? He just had the right dream that one time. It's because we've decided that that's the subplot for this episode.
The power of the plot.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. That is those get-ups are sort of Romulan-ish, but not the robes, just the middle of them.
This car salesman should be the villain.
Well, that's Stone. He runs the detective agency.
He used to be a cop.
But I never believed he was a real cop. He ran the junior detective or the junior police department. Yeah, the junior mall cop police department. Why does he have a bell?
Well,
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I haven't gone back and watched Zeo in a really long time.
And I'm not familiar with Zeo very much at all.
For a long time, it was my favorite. And it's been so long since I've seen it, I have a hard time saying that now. But
I feel like
I like the costumes in the show a lot.
Zeo would be the one to cross with like Doctor Who or something if you had those rights together.
That angle is really strange. I always like the costumes in Zeo a lot.
Goldar on this bike, incredible.
It's unfortunate we never did anything with Gold Ranger and Goldar. That just seems like it's right there. Especially because, like at some point, Lord Zedd really should have taken back over, right? And I'm not just saying that because I love Lord Zedd and because Mondo was kind of lame. He was kind of Mondo lame. Whoa! Oh, I wasn't saying that coming at all. But also because Jason and Goldar were kind of arch enemies, really.
You know what I like about this?
Wouldn't you want to do that? Put those together.
I don't think we do enough in kids television now. Is this is like history for a new, younger
Neo-plutonium, you guys.
And it's payoff for an older viewer.
I'm sure in 1996, Neo-plutonium is in every corner drugstore, but here in 1955, it's a little hard to come by. I'm sorry, I got distracted by Neo-plutonium.
It's like the next level of plutonium.
It's like futuristic.
Drill Master, yes.
Yes. Oh, I had that action figure too.
Yeah, Drill Master?
I did. I wouldn't have remembered his name though. I would have been like Drill something something.
I love the aesthetic of these guys.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't do anything with them. I mean, they never do anything with the bad guys, really. But I don't know. It's just following up Zedd. They're not menacing.
That's not true. They do quite a bit with Lost Galaxy. You never watched it, but they do quite a bit with the bad guys in that one.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's a whole art.
I mean, in the Mighty Morphin era.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the staff.
Hey, yours isn't that big.
I wish I had a Gold Ranger staff that big. That and the Zedd staff are the two props that I would totally.
So that's what you bought the neighborhood kids with.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I hit now. No, just my siblings, dude.
I just want.
I'm humane.
I just want a Green Ranger dagger.
Yeah,
that's all I want. It's my childhood holy grail toy. I never.
See, that's one of those things that's just everybody loves it, and so I don't get as excited about it.
I just always wanted it.
And also, it's not just that. I came into Power Rangers after Green Ranger, so White Ranger was already established, and so I was more of a White Ranger kid.
When I was a kid, I had the Green with Evil tapes and stuff, so that was before I wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers, which is why I come in later with Lost Galaxies. I watched Mighty Morphin on tape and stuff, and then apparently made me too violent. I wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers as a kid.
I didn't get a sense. I didn't quite understand the whole Sentai thing until this show came out, Eric, because I was very confused as to why you would have green and it not have anything to do with the Green Ranger stuff. And I was like, this is off about all this. Why is Tommy in red? And why did we have to pull Billy out of a costume? And I didn't realize that the rules for Power Rangers are just different from.
Now, is Alpha 5 consistently the same robot across all iterations?
Are you there?
Yep, still here. We're good.
We lost our connection for a moment. I am at timestamp 1025.
Okay.
So if everybody would just jump back to that place. Sorry about that. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. We are having some internet issues, and it's impressive that has not happened before now.
10:25, everyone.
Let me know when you're ready, sir.
I'm good to go. You ready?
Okay, let's get back into it. Everybody, please press play right now.
Just don't try to explain Triforia again. That's what set it off.
Is that what it was? Okay, all right. Sorry, Alden. You're never going to get to know what Trey from Triforia. Yeah, well, in Aquitar too.
What I did ask while you guys were frozen, I was asking you, is Alpha 5 the same robot across all iterations? Like he remembers everything?
Yeah, until you get to Turbo, where he's a different version. So we destroy him. Where in this show?
No, it has to be.
No, it's in Turbo. Yeah, we get Alpha 6.
Oh,
Who's awful, and then they reconfigure its voice.
And he's still awful. In space, his voice is still annoying and grating.
How was Bill Hader's Alpha 5 in the reboot?
Didn't mind it.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's weird. He's pretty much just a fight coach.
Oh.
And has tentacles that shoot out and throw people around.
Oh.
And seems to be combat capable, but does not fight.
Yeah. He's just there to train them. And has one move. And then, spoiler alert, the Megazord uses the one move that he teaches them in order to beat Goldar at the end.
Oh, well, there you go. That worked out nicely.
Yep.
I thought he was a good choice for the voice. I'm sad that he was just sort of...
Oh, you remember the Scottish stereotype monster? I forgot about that guy. Orbis? Or that thing's Orbis? I forget what his name is. He's like, oh, go Orbis! Make my monster grow!
Nathan Snyder says Alpha 5's voice in Turbo with the yo-yo-yo thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was the pits.
Although, to be fair, it's never as bad as I remember it. Like, whenever I hear it, I'm like, oh, that's not as bad as I remember it being. It's not good, but it's not as bad as I remember it.
That's because if you go back early enough in that show, you also have to deal with Demetria, who is more annoying than Alpha is. Demetria is just the worst thing ever.
Zordon's sister, yes?
No, I think she is just somebody who knew Zordon with no explanation as to why she. If memory serves, I don't think they explain why she also has to be in a tube. It's just that's what the mentor characters are. They're people trapped in tubes. Maybe there wasn't. I forget. But yeah, she only speaks in questions, and then they got sick of writing that, and at some point, she just stops doing that.
Oh, no. Isn't she... who's the bad guy in Turbo?
Divatox.
Divatox. Isn't she Divatox's sister? She is somebody's sister.
They make it... they never make that definitely canon, but they had... I think the deal was they had planned on it, and they never make that clear, but it's highly implied, and I think it's the same actress. I think she also does Demetria. I might be wrong about that. Anybody in the comments that knows that stuff, I'm going on 10, 20-year-old memories here.
This one says Divatox's sister.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, I don't think they ever make that... They ever come out and state that for sure.
Yeah, that's
maybe
Dr.
they did.
Holocron
I forget it.
and Red Leader and Tilly's.
Yeah,
that's two people.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's ever come out and stated.
Oh, and then Philly Superman says Alpha 5 isn't destroyed. He left with Zordon to Eltar.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Thanks.
And then Alpha 6 comes. Okay. Yeah, just catching up on a couple things here.
Ooh, it's a box.
They like to play everything in the show as really mysterious and mystical, and there's never really any mystery, but it's like, and that's one of my favorite things about the show. It cracks me up. Hey. It was such a big deal when they destroyed the command center, and all through the summer. I don't know if you know about these. You know about this? Because you were little enough, you wouldn't remember it. But all through the summer, after Mighty Morphin ends, they have these little couple-minute spots they would do that were supposed to be playing up the mystery of what happens when the Rangers come back, and they did little bits with Bulk and Skull and with Stone and stuff.
Hey, look, it's a theme. In the last episode you showed us, they hold up a sword that shoots beams and makes new Rangers, and here he held up a staff and it made the coins.
We tried to do just nothing but episodes about power transfers, but we decided ultimately against it.
Episodes with holding up stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always thought the battle Zords were really kind of dumb.
Wait, are those not the main ones?
No, they're not.
Okay, those are the toys I see most frequently for the show, or those are the ones that my friends had.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the Zeo Megazord a lot, and I've not seen a lot of the Battlezord, so I don't know. I used to have the Zeo Megazord. I don't have that anymore.
I'm trying to picture it in my head, and I can't.
They should give it to us here along with the Battle Zords.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Or maybe for some reason in the series right now they're not able to use them. I forget.
They look really tubby. That's weird.
Yeah, I never cared for these. And actually, I don't think these come together to make a Megazord. Or maybe they do. I can't remember.
Okay, I remember my friends having these, and I must have just assumed that this was the main Megazord because it's in the shape of their masks.
No, the Zeo Megazord is the one with the Sphinx in the middle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a good Megazord.
Yeah, no, that's a good Megazord.
It was the one I had when I was a kid. I played with it all the time. And my problem with it was all the helmets. Do you remember, like, the helmets would come up, and then you'd have another helmet, and it would have a different power, and then it would leave, and there would be a different one. It was really hard to not lose those in the toy because it had all the different helmets. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say, somebody asked Power Rangers question if you guys liked the Power/Rangers, the fan film, the fan trailer, and if you think that they could do a whole movie like that.
It was really well made. That's my whole review.
Yeah, I agree.
It's obviously not what I would want.
Right.
It felt really lazy and kind of juvenile concept.
I thought it was kind of juvenile too. Yeah.
But then they came out and they're like, no, it's satire. It's a joke, and I don't
think
they would have said that if the reaction had been different.
I feel like that was a spin because it feels like the most like let's do the contrarian thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot. This one goes underwater.
But that guy was the guy.
See, Adam's cool because he gets to go underwater.
Yeah, the guy who produced that,
and he used to be a frog.
He did the Castlevania that was just on Netflix, and he also did Dirty Laundry. So
and Dirty Laundry's wonderful.
He's better than that.
I took that 10-minute fan film and spent 25 minutes talking about it on Rewind. I loved it so much.
Yeah, that one is amazing.
Super Zeo Power Punch.
I know I throw this word around a lot, but Power/Rangers is real overcompensating. It's just, don't you want to see, rough, dark Power Rangers? No, I want to see sophisticated Power Rangers.
It also made me really sad for...
It should still be fun and optimistic and stuff. And, if you want to... I mean, that is just a fan film thing. I don't have any problem with it all, but I wouldn't want to see real Power Rangers done that way.
What's the... Who's the actress that's in that?
Katie Sackhoff.
It was really sad because it seems like everyone views her career way more optimistically than she does because she made this big deal that she was involved with this big project and everyone thought it was that she was going to be Captain Marvel, and then it was a Power Rangers fan film.
Yeah, you see, that doesn't come together.
Okay.
They're just separate. Something must have happened to the Zeo Megazord by this point in the series. We're pretty late in the show. Okay, so what I don't get is if they can just send an orb and pick them up, Zedd and Rita, why are they trapped on the moon? Why don't they just send themselves here?
Well, it can only send things to them. It can't send them there.
Oh, okay. Thanks for giving me some rules that aren't anywhere in the show.
Well, you don't know that.
I know the rules aren't in the show. I know that.
I love the music.
For
Bulk and Skull.
For Bulk and Skull, yeah. What I love about Bulk and Skull is that they're not funny, but they're hilarious. Like, I don't think Bulk and Skull of a lot of things in Power Rangers. I talk all the time about how if you didn't grow up with this, I totally understand why you might not get it or appreciate it. Bulk and Skull is one of those things where, like, I would find that so tedious and not want that there.
And they never work again. Like, they try that in. I want to say in VR Troopers, they have Beetleborgs. I want to say there's one in Masked Rider. It never works again. It's just those two actors.
The ones in Dino Thunder are better, but they're ultimately not bullies. It's kind of a different dynamic, but it's just the kind of bumbling comic relief characters. But I don't know, she gets kind of a character arc. And so by the end, I like her.
Was that meta?
Was what meta?
Tommy saying to Jason, in the Power Rangers, nobody's more or less important than anybody else.
Why is that meta?
Well, because there's that whole thing about Tommy having a big ego and all that.
Yeah, I mean, that might be why they wrote that. Yeah, good point. Or maybe that was like, a line he really wanted there because of the whole, money issues and stuff. I'm not, obviously this is not information we would ever get. I would love to know what they paid him to come back, because obviously, and it's interesting watching these 2 episodes back, right? Because
the episode he leaves, the episode he comes back.
I mean, like he leaves over, he'd already left, but he leaves because they were paying him. They were paying all the Ranger actors. I don't know why I X'd that out. I gotta go
ask the question. I was like, nope.
I gotta go back to Netflix. Give me just a second. Eric, I've got some issues with my computer here. But yeah, they left over, money issues, and they were paying them like they were working at McDonald's. Like, it was quite that bad, but it was close to that bad.
Which makes
at least
sense
the way they talk about
when it starts. The problem is it became a phenomenon.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they were making this real low budget show. They didn't know if it was. They agreed to do it. It's not that big of a deal that they didn't pay them any better at the beginning. But you're right. It becomes a phenomenon. They should have.
And I think that's why they left. I don't think it's like they were drunk. It's like, hey, we're the biggest thing right now.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so the next show we're going to watch is from Lost Galaxy, and we now get into things I don't know anything about. This is episode 15 of Lost Galaxy. The rest of the shows will only have 1 season, so you don't have to worry about that. And it's episode 15, Redemption Day, and Alden is laughing about something, and I want to know what it is.
It's Real Manos is here, and of course,
hi, Manos!
With the good one-liners. He says, you could pay Frank and Burger King coupons, and he'd show up.
It's true. That's true. He says, and of course, Jason David Frank, with respect, is kind of full of himself, but I do believe him when he says that he would do Power Rangers for free. He more or less has done that before. And he also is cool at conventions in that he doesn't take appearance fees, which is kind of nice of him.
Well, that's cool.
And he's okay with people just coming up and shaking his hand and not buying anything. And there's a lot of actors that won't do that. So that's a thing I appreciate.
And also, there was a question here that's from whole username coming up. Cracking a cold one with the Boys Productions. Are y'all excited?
Do people do that just so that on shows like this, folks will talk about them longer? Is that why it's that? Sorry, Alden, go ahead.
I think
what he wants.
I think it's to see if the moderators break while reading the name. Are y'all excited for a Power Rangers movie sequel to this year's film?
Has it been announced?
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I know that they initially said 5-movie arc, but I don't know if it made a satisfactory amount.
It doesn't matter what they were planning. We get that from. I don't know why people keep throwing those numbers around. Say like 6-movie arc. We hear this for all kinds of franchises, like how many they would like to make. King
Arthur was going to be like 4 movies.
Yeah, but it's weird because that must have gotten some traction somewhere on some website, because that is the first thing. And I'm not calling you out or making fun of you, but that is the first thing I hear people say all the time when there's question about whether or not they're going to. Well, they were planning 6 movies. Everything is
right.
Everything's about a franchise now. Like everything has like a
if
long
plans
plan.
Worked out, we would have our Sinister Six film right now,
and we would have an Aunt May movie, and we would have all those other random films they were talking about,
and movies that no one would go see, like Venom and Silver Sable and Black Cat.
And I'm sure
Silver and
Luke
Black. That's not going to get made. Okay, it's not going to happen.
Silver and Black.
I'm sorry. What?
I was just going to say Valerian 2 would be in pre-production right now.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. General rule of thumb, if anybody doesn't know this, the rule of thumb with movies is to see what a movie has to make to break even is to double the budget, because that's about how much they're going to spend on marketing, is how much they spent to make the film. So I see a lot of people with Power Rangers being like, oh, well, it made like a little bit more than its budget, so it made money. No, it didn't. It has to make double its budget to break even.
And I don't know what toys were like for this iteration.
They could not have been good. And have you seen them? They're just really lame and terrible. But some of that is because that aesthetic doesn't make for great toys. They didn't make a toy commercial. But yeah, I mean, I see them still at Walmarts and Targets all over the place.
Never marked down though.
No, I have seen them marked down.
Oh, are they finally getting marked down?
And I've been seeing them marked down a lot, but they don't get marked down much. Like they keep dropping the prices to where they're almost affordable in the first place. Yeah, those toys are bad and overpriced, and it's really unfortunate. The larger, 10-inch, 12-inch Rangers are better than the tiny ones because they actually look more like the suits. But anyway,
and the Funko came out good.
No, the pops are good. Some of the pops are really great. Yeah, those exclusive busted up helmet ones are wonderful.
Oh, the Rita and Zordon.
Zordon, those are really cool.
Those at the store the other day. Those are cool.
So Eric, set us up a little bit for Lost Galaxy.
Just the premise of the show.
Yeah, and why we're watching this one specifically. Yeah, because I will be watching this for the first time.
Okay, so the premise for Lost Galaxy is that Earth sends out a space colony to explore the galaxy and find a planet like Earth that we could start colonizing. And there's an evil space gangster that doesn't want that. Question mark.
And even though it's in space, it's not connected to Power Rangers in space, really, is it?
They use the Power Rangers in space spaceship, which is a museum on the space station.
So it's set in the future, or
it's set right after.
Okay.
But they made the in space spaceship museum, and they use it. That's essentially where their command center is the in space spaceship.
And this is the one, right, where astronomer and then she becomes a ranger, or
yes, that is later in the season.
Okay.
Because the actual Pink Ranger actor got leukemia or something.
Oh, man.
She got better, but she got some kind of disease, and she had to leave, and so they kill her off and bring in Astronomer to take over. The Magna Defender is their 6th Ranger. But
he's not a Ranger at all.
Well,
or is he?
So this is
he doesn't look like a Ranger.
So this is the episode where he dies, and after this episode, there is another character who will get the ability to morph into him.
Oh, interesting.
So he kind of is a Ranger.
Do they actually kill him off for real?
That's this episode.
But I mean, does he ever come back, like the real one?
I think maybe his spirit might talk to the guy that gets his powers every once in a while, but no, he stays dead.
Okay.
Which is why we're watching this, because it's one of the darkest, most dramatic turns for Power Rangers, but also it's hilarious, and we're going to watch it. When I rewatched this show, one of the things I really remembered was that Magna Defender has a really sad backstory about how Scorpina, is it Scorpina?
No,
it's not Scorpina. It's Tarantula or something. I would. Flashback every episode the Magna Defender appears, and by the 4th time, 5th time, you're just like, I get it, your kid's dead, move on. But we're watching this because I think it's a pretty good standalone episode for this season.
All right, here we go. Lost Galaxy, episode 15. Get ready to press play when I say now. Here we go. Everybody, please press play. Right now! No, now we're getting into the beginning CG years of Power Rangers.
See, there he is. He's a mob boss, and that's his daughter, who's even scarier than he is.
Oh, yeah. I remember her design. I don't think I've ever sat through a whole episode of the show.
Well, you're about to.
Yes, I
buckle in.
Here we go. I'm so excited.
Red Leader says that Lost Galaxy is the freaking best, so I'm excited.
A lot of people say
it is my favorite season, although rewatching it a year or two ago, it doesn't exactly hold together as a piece. But I still love it. It's still my favorite.
A lot of people go to Lost Galaxy is the best show. A lot of people go to Time Force. A lot of people go to RPM.
This is my favorite Yellow Ranger for entirely superficial reasons.
And people who love Mighty Morphin like I do tend to go to Dino Thunder.
I remember Dino Thunder fondly.
And it does hold together as a piece, although there's some lame stuff at the end. We beat Mesogog a little too easily. It is cool that he gets all giant and crazy, but he has like a evolution.
That's the thing I can give this show is the finale is epic.
Ooh, this looks pretty bad.
That looks really bad.
But it doesn't look any worse than Space, but
I love it.
And it is the season after Space, but
and this one was even harder than Space because this is a jungle themed Sentai.
How did they pull this on that off? This looks really cool though.
Yeah.
The Scorpion spaceship thing. Lost Galaxy. So this theme song cracks me up because they have to like fit in the word lost into the syllable count for the Power Rangers Galaxy, and then somebody just yells lost in the middle of it. I love that. Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. Jason's favorite character in the show is Kendricks. I know that.
Is it? I thought it was Mag the Defender.
Well, besides Man Defender, but just of the regular Rangers.
I really liked Leo when I was a kid. I thought he was super cool, and I also liked the Green Ranger, but I tend to always like the Green Ranger. I love how they run because it's dumb.
This is a great intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really hyped right now. Yeah, the crouch run is going to be awesome this episode. I can feel it.
That's the main thing that they've still hung on to for Mighty Morphin is that it's still got that real kind of high-octane vibe about it.
I think they keep that, at least through Time Force. I don't know if they keep the Wild Force response stuff or the Wild Force theme.
Well, and I also just mean it like, the way these things are cut together and stuff. We've really, like in the recent seasons, all the edges out of it.
Yeah.
Relative edge. You know what I mean?
That guy looked like a villain.
We've just really deflated the energy.
He's not. He runs the whole space station.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's not a scorpion thing. It's got, like, butterfly wings.
Well, it's a spaceship. It has to be aerodynamic.
Right, of course. That's very important in space.
I love how when they both dove through the door, it was at the same height both times.
Indiana Jones does that. No one complains about it. Power Rangers can do it.
I like the scope of this space station. Oh, it's kind of cool that this is a dumb thing to point out. It's kind of cool that they wait until now to give you the name of the episode. Like, just the pacing of that's really cool.
So
they're treating this like a real epic thing.
One of the biggest, dumbest things in this show is that the show is about, like, ancient artifacts that all happen to be on this space station that was made yesterday. I don't remember if this has an artifact, because this is all during there's kind of a mini arc for the Lights of Orion. That's the big thing that everyone's after, and the Mag Defender's after it, and he's kind of rogue, and he does his own thing. He doesn't care about Power Rangers, and I don't know if they have it yet or not at this point. This
Chewbacca's lover asks if this crossed over with Next Mutation, or was that something else?
That was space.
That's in space, although there isn't in space crossover in this. Look how cool he is!
We almost watched the space crossover.
We did. We almost did that.
It's all about the cape, dude. That costume is totally generic until you put a cape on it.
No, I like the toy of that.
The helmet's cool too, but you need the whole package.
Yeah. I also love his voice.
Yeah, he sounds like
another evil will also be destroyed.
He sounds like Boba Fett.
Yeah, he does. That's exactly what he sounds like. I also like that he merged with a Zord because it makes him different.
I'm gonna be a Megazord, a murderer. I mean, a good guy and help people and stuff. And I'm not gonna get eaten by a Sarlacc pit.
Watch, this will be the one.
I'm just gonna keep talking
don't
like
get
that.
a flashback to his son being murdered.
Okay, so there's Alpha 6. He has less of an annoying voice than Turbo. That's what we were talking about earlier, but it still sucks. You shouldn't just sound like me. We need a robot that sounds like
Scorpius. I'm sorry I confused him with Scorpina. It's Scorpius.
Doesn't even sound like a feminine villain name.
You see, he's going to destroy the station.
I have to say, I was never a fan of these costumes.
They're not great.
I don't like the helmets.
Oh, really? It's the Charlie Brown, like, too much white is what bothers me.
It is kind of Charlie Brownish, yeah.
It reminds me a lot of Charlie Brown. No, the monster, stop him.
Oh my God! Look at this guy.
Incredible death.
That's the best.
Majora's thing. What is happening on this?
Remember, in Japan, it's a jungle themed show.
That's my new favorite monster. I want one so bad.
That was the best pan up reveal of all time.
It's the best. reason it's so great is because Freaky Tiki is in the episode that Eric says has one of the darkest Power Ranger reveals.
Oh, also, I believe this is the first Power Ranger season where we do the sentient Megazord thing.
Oh.
Which is a thing going back all the way to the Zhu Rangers. Like, from the beginning of when we start using Sentai, they have sentient Zords.
But yeah, they're just robots in Mighty Morphin.
Yeah. No, these ones are the Galactic Beasts and they're alive.
Do they do it in nearly every show after this? Because Dino Thunder does it. Like, I feel like a lot of shows do that.
I think most shows do that.
Where they make them basically
RPM
animals.
does not.
RPM doesn't have... Do they just do it with animal ones?
Yeah. Well,
because RPM doesn't have animals.
This does.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I don't know, okay? I haven't watched that show much.
Yeah, there's no sentient cars or anything, I don't think.
I've seen one episode of RPM, and it's the one we're going to watch today, because it's the one that Eric maybe watched one time, and now we're going to watch it again.
It's a really good episode.
It is really good. I remember it vividly. It's really good.
These buddies are called Stingwingers, and I like them.
That's a cool name, too.
They look pretty cool.
I wish I had my whole own army of Stingwingers. That'd be the best.
I want to spin off of the Tiki.
Look like it connected.
I also like that they all have swords. That's cool.
All the Rangers? Or just the Stingwingers?
No, all the Rangers have swords. Instead of having like the blaster sidearms, like they did in Mighty Morphin, they've all got swords. But they're cool because they're like telescoping swords, so when they're in their holster, they're not like...
The Stingwingers remind me of the maggot things in Mass Rider.
Maggot?
Yeah, cool. They're putties. The maggot putties.
Oh, yeah.
But Eric, we know we're going to get to the best.
Always fighting for good.
The titanium laser.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is half battle axe.
Oh, I feel a flashback coming on. I feel the flashback Eric was talking about coming on. It was 3,000 years.
Well, no, this is not that flashback.
Oh, it's not?
No, this is explaining that his brother that dies in the first episode. So, his brother is supposed to be the Red Ranger, but he falls down that crevice.
Oh, man.
And this is what happened to him.
That was amazing.
3,000 years, he still had the energy to do that.
His aim is incredible.
But look how weak he still is.
Like, that, no, Magnus Defender, that he's able to, like, throw that sword and not impale the guy and stick his shirt to the edge of a...
I know, but he did that,
amazing.
And then immediately was like, oh, I'm so weak.
He did a sweet pose when he landed.
Yep. So, yeah, so this is the reveal that his brother's still alive and that they're merged. And that we didn't murder somebody in the first episode like you thought we did.
That's cool. Nathan Snyder asks, what are the worst Power Rangers costumes, period, in your opinions?
I would need to look at some, because I'm sure there's ones I don't know that well, but
I really don't like the Super Samurai ones. Those are dumb and bulky.
Yeah. Turbo's not great.
Yeah, but
that's not
Turbo's more dull than it is.
That's not the problem with that show. Here,
I think the Mystic ones are weird.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the capes.
Yeah. That's just kind of not a Power Ranger show.
Look how cool his sword is. His sword also turns into a gun.
This guy looks like he could come from, like, an early Final Fantasy.
Yeah, he totally does. He looks like the bad guy in the first one, whose name is escaping me.
Yeah, I don't remember either, but I know what you're talking about.
You find him at the beginning, and then he time travels. Well, you time travel, and he's there too.
Yep.
Waiting for you. I want to say it starts with a G.
Somebody let us know.
It's not Ganon. That's a different franchise.
Eric, what are your favorite?
Garland.
What's your favorite suits?
I don't know. I know. Like I'm like a costume guy, and like I'm super critical of those things. There he is. There's a little son guy. Look at
the background. They're just running in front of a big picture of space.
Again, remember this is a jungle show in Japan.
Oh man! So they had to take out the background. look at his little kid brother.
And now he's dead.
Oh, I'm Magnum Defender. I'm a little kid.
Cap, you need to make that for Jason.
Dude, I expected this to be really epic and that we would be as sad as we could possibly be in a Power Rangers show, and I cannot stop laughing. This is so much fun. And I'm not making fun of it. I'm laughing at things that can only be meant to be laughed at. Look at freaking Tiki! It's my favorite new monster.
Bob the Hunt is asking Eric if he thinks the guy with horns sounds like Solid Snake.
He does kind of sound like Solid Snake.
Oh, you know what? Jungle Fury might be. Is it Jungle Fury? Is it no? Wild Force is okay. I think it's Jungle Fury is probably my.
I'm also not big on the
worst.
Zeo costumes.
Well, I like the Zeo costumes a lot, but I grew up with them.
I don't like the Zeo helmets.
You know what my favorite is? Alien Rangers, dude.
Oh yeah, those are good ones.
Love them. Well, I wish we had a whole season that way, but at least we got several episodes with them. Oh man, we just made the Freaky Tiki grow.
Actually, the monsters in this show grow on their own.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Make myself grow.
They have agency and stuff.
They have agency
and stuff. I love the background graphic of this.
That's power up mode. Oh yeah, see the Lights Orion makes their sword super, and now it's got a bigger V on its chest.
He's the best.
This guy's incredible. He's biting.
I love things that are always happy no matter what are happening to them. He's like if you made the Cheshire Cat into a monster.
Now he's dead.
What?
Yeah, he's dead.
They kill him.
His staff's in the fire.
I'm so disappointed.
I don't even care anymore. Not even listening to this anymore. Okay.
I like her aesthetic a lot. She's cool.
She is cool, and she ends up being the main villain of the show.
Bored now.
Oh, neat.
Because Scorpius gets killed. He dies.
You know what? You're right. This is depressing.
Because Freaky Tiki's gone.
Yeah, we got rid of Freaky Tiki. He is at least a 2-episode monster.
I want a 6-inch Funko Pop of Freaky Tiki.
This is a thing we do a lot in later Power Ranger seasons that it's the Sentai, but that we don't see early on. Rangers running at things with their arms out like this. We do it all the time.
Well, these Rangers in particular, when they move, they do this. Like, this is how they run. Like, just always.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a very specific thing to this season. I don't know why.
I don't mind going out now because we defeated the Freaky Tiki.
Well, and he's also the one that started the fire.
Wait, he didn't. We didn't start the fire.
No, he did.
That was Magnum Defender.
That was Magnum Defender.
I didn't start the fire. Yes, I did. Wait a minute. That was me. Revenge.
This guy also reminds me of Meta Knight.
I need to get that suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to get that suit for Jason so bad. Whoever said that is totally right.
That's his son.
Yeah, please do it. Please.
This is maybe the greatest episode of Power Rangers ever created.
Look at this artistic shot.
I never watched these shows because I felt like once we got past when I was younger, when we got past Mighty Morphin, the Mighty Morphin era, it just didn't feel like Power Rangers to me anymore.
So this scene right here on this clip is where JJ got the inspiration for Ray and Luke.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously.
He immediately went to the ground.
We need a shot of Magna Defender just standing there, just looking at this. Except you can't emote through a mask.
This is some kind of beautiful. These little flowers.
It's so beautiful.
See, it's great because this show knows just what it is, right? Like, it knows this is the silliest thing you've ever looked at, and it's playing it as straight as you possibly can with Power Rangers. This is why I love Power Rangers.
Don't turn your back on him. Aww.
If you're a kid, you might be able to take some of this seriously if you're a young enough kid and you haven't watched real movies. And if you're an adult, it's just a silly farce, and it's wonderful.
But how do you get the flowers if it was a memory?
Whoa, that's the power of memory, Eric. That's what it's getting at. If you
did you see that? It's broke.
Whoa,
It's so intense.
Oh, I thought he was just being really. I know what I must do. Crack.
Well, I'm assuming it's supposed to be the heat.
Well, that was real well-timed heat breaking his visor there, Eric.
Eric, do you know why the kid has a helmet, did they say?
That's what he looks. He's an alien.
That's
just what he looks like.
That's just what he looks like. Okay. Yeah. That was an audience question from Chewy's Lover. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters in Power Rangers that look like they're wearing costumes but aren't. That's true of Ninjor. Ninjaware should be either a Zord guy or someone wearing a costume, but that's just what he looks like.
Yeah, there's a whole race of people who look like Magna Defender, I assume.
That's even better. Honestly, I thought it was the kid was in a suit too. I think part of it's because they cracked his helmet. It's a helmet and it cracks. Like
that's his face.
What do you go to a helmet and wow? What do you go to? That it is hardcore. What does it go to a hospital and like
yeah? The general's chest is cracked too. I assume they can fix that.
Oh man. Oh
dude,
man.
why have I not watched the show? This is wonderful. Ah! Ah!
He's going out in such a metal fashion. I love it.
He's holding the flower.
This is really hardcore for Power Rangers. Dude.
Yeah,
not
right.
Go the flowers, cape ablaze.
I can't stop laughing every time I see the kid. Especially when he talks. I think part of the reason that that I assumed he was wearing a costume too is that he sounds like he's talking under a helmet.
Oh no, I'm actually still burning.
Well, if you can manifest the flower from your memory, why can't you just manifest your child? And then he's burning up too. He's oh no, my child is
you
burning.
dropped the flowers. Symbolism, heavy symbolism.
Oh,
and they use his life force to put out the fire.
He's like a regular Zordon.
That was
those special effects are brilliant. Wow. How do you go to a commercial breakout? How do you expect anybody to watch a laundry detergent episode after they just saw their favorite character being burned alive?
I'm riveted.
I am, honestly. For Power Rangers, this is about as epic as it gets. Like,
that was awesome. See, this
so
is why
cool.
I never want a super serious adaptation.
Yeah. I still think you can do a
serious
adaptation.
But really cool sword.
But you have to keep the absurdity of it, right? Like, you have to play it straight.
Yeah, like I want a scene like that directed by Jon Favreau.
Favreau's Power Rangers. That's not a bad idea.
Actually. Yeah, no, he's a good pick for that.
Why are you so much better than me at that, Alden? You're so much better than me.
I'm a big fan caster, fan director picker. I had
I suck at that.
the top posts on Reddit a couple times for some Batman fan casts I did, but I need to update them because some actors have passed away.
I think it was because it was so good, some of them have been cast now.
Jeremy Irons was my pick before DC did it.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite Alfred.
He's great.
I've predicted a couple little things here and there, but I'm terrible at fan casting.
I love like fan project stuff and putting together movies. I'm doing a Fantastic Four one right now.
Cool.
Who's your Doom?
Nikolai Coster-Waldau, who is Jaime Lannister on Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
And it would probably be Duncan Jones directing, but I haven't decided yet, as if I have any power.
But... That's a great pick.
He and I are texting about it right now. I'll let you guys know.
Duncan Jones is my go-to for... I never do that, but whenever I do that, he tends to be my go-to for anything remotely connected to science fiction.
See, we lost a life, but we got a life back.
Oh, I see. Right, it's a trade-off thing.
Brad Bird is too obvious, so I didn't want to do it. It's like the Joker, like earlier.
Oh, also, hey, Brad Bird was my pick for Star Wars Episode 7.
I remember that.
That was a real Disney sting there.
You got to see that armor that his brother was wearing there. The military suits in this show are the Starship Trooper suits.
Why are we watching anything else? We should just watch more of this show. This show's great.
It's great.
Wow.
That was awesome.
Gotta go watch more of this.
Now I want to go back and become attached to that character.
Well, it's about the same thing every episode. He's real sad and angry and vengeance.
I'm so excited for these next ones.
They don't have the worst Megazord.
No, it's okay.
It's pretty generic looking. It's real slimmed down, right? Like it needs something.
And there are more Megazords in the show that are like separate ones. I don't think they ever actually like switch their Megazord. I think they just get more.
There's a lot of shows do that.
Don't close it.
I'm not going to. God, you think I never learn from anything? You think I never have character arcs? I don't grow and change as a person? Eric's telling... Don't even know the proper term, God. Okay, so Lightspeed Rescue. We're gonna watch a two-parter, sort of a two-parter, 2 episodes next to each other. Eric picked from Deep in the Shadows and Truth Discovered. This is episode 11 and 12 of
Everybody
Lightspeed
should
Rescue.
be excited.
Everyone should be excited.
Because this is my favorite Power Ranger. This is the only Power Rangers that I know decently well, I think.
And this is kind of, I think, the first major attempt to do Green Ranger again.
Cool. I mean, we do the Evil Ranger thing a lot.
But we don't do it in Zero, we don't do it in Turbo, we don't do it in Space, we don't do it in Lost
That's a good point. I always think of it as a thing we do every time because we've done it a lot more recently. And obviously, Dino Thunder does it.
Titanium as a kid, though, with the tat and everything, and his whole aesthetic, and this is the best.
Titanium is also completely ours. He does not exist in Sentai.
Oh wow!
We created the Ranger.
We created it, and it's real.
Yep.
So, Alden, obviously, feel free to jump in and talk about stuff in this. And this is a thing I don't know, so I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy. Any comments or anything we should talk about before we get into this?
No, most of the stuff is just about the Fantastic Four stuff we mentioned.
Okay, cool. Let's jump into it, folks. From Deep in the Shadows, it's episode 11 of Lightspeed Rescue. And Eric, we are halfway there, buddy.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? When you go back to Power Rangers, doesn't it always feel like when you're watching Power Rangers show, it took forever to get to like the 6 Ranger stuff, and then whenever I go back, it's like, oh, it's like 10 episodes in.
Yeah, but then there are other things that do take forever to get to. You know, because you'll have. I mean, Power Ranger seasons, usually you have like 3 or 4 big beats, and you can skip everything else if you wanted to. You just have all these really pointless 1 or none episodes. And most seasons tend to do that, except for the more arcy things. Like Time Force isn't like that. You say Lost Galaxy's pretty tight.
No, Lost Galaxy has lots of throwaways.
Oh, does it really? Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of a different show.
No, like I said, it doesn't exactly come together, but it is arcy. It has it almost works like we're like it's operating within this status quo. This is what the bad guys are after. This is what the heroes are fighting for. And then we have a new one, and we do like 4 or 5 of those.
Yeah.
Then we go to Lost Galaxy for 6 episodes, and that doesn't matter. It's just a place where space pirates hang out.
But it's the name of the show.
Because we couldn't figure out what the Lost Galaxy was. Like a bunch of different people had different ideas, and then we're like, oh no, the show's ending, and we haven't established what the title means. So they find the Lost Galaxy, and it's a place where space pirates live.
See, I always assumed.
Sounds amazing.
I always assumed the end of space was they got trapped in a lost galaxy. That's what I always figured it was.
The main leader of the space pirates is a pirate ship monster.
Are you serious? He's got a pirate ship for a body?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best. It probably isn't better than Freaky Tiki, but it sounds pretty great.
But honestly, at what point will you ever find anything better than Freaky Tiki?
Oh, and he has his own putties who are dressed like pirates.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's cool.
And you know what? I bet that show knew that they were pirates and talked about the fact that they're pirates because Megaforce did not do that.
They're just hanging out on a flying pirate ship, but no one's like, hey, do you guys notice that we're on a pirate ship? Nope, no one ever said that.
You know, so Megaforce was supposed to be the big, bringing all the Power Ranger stuff together show, and we're not doing any of those.
You know, it's interesting.
Pretty bad.
Titanium was a big one that fans were angry that they initially weren't going to use.
Oh, wow.
Because it's ours.
Yeah.
If you're going to do a Power Rangers anniversary season, you have to have the Titanium Ranger.
Big reunion thing. I mean, I enjoyed some of Super Megaforce, even though I don't like a lot of the actors in that show and stuff. And I mean, it's just generic and bad. But it was really fun seeing some of the suits all together. I gotta admit. But again, that's all Sentai footage. I mean, it's just watching that show to get that. Yeah, maybe some of it wasn't. I don't know, but it was cool. I mean, I have a big pet peeve with that because I think it's hilarious that they have Alien Rangers suits in that because they were from another planet. They shouldn't be part of that whole thing, but it's not like canon and Power Rangers anyway, It's really loose. Okay, here we go. Episode 11, Lightspeed Rescue, timestamp 0. Get ready to press play. Here we go. Everybody please press play. Right now!
I love the underwater base.
Yeah.
Last time on Power Rangers Sea Quest.
That's the Green Ranger. He's wearing green. He's a pilot, and he's loads of fun.
Oh, this is the show with the guy with the cowboy hat?
Yes.
This is Jason's favorite thing.
He's great.
In the show.
So he's super into this doctor chick who's pretty hot. And
great.
There she is.
It's kind of insight you can expect on Geek.
Yeah. So he's super into this doctor chick who's pretty hot, and like the kind of thing with them throughout the show is she doesn't date colleagues, and he's always trying to get with her. But the second the thread is over, they go on a date. They get married in real life.
Oh wow, that's
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I always love the Dr. Chick.
That's Captain Mitchell.
Their Red Ranger is either jacked or shot like he's jacked.
No, he's jacked. He's a firefighter.
He looks jacked.
I mean, I don't know about real life, but in this show, he's a firefighter. If anyone doesn't know, the premise of the show is that they're a rescue force. So we have a fire ranger, We have a
fire ranger.
We have a firefighter.
Sounds awesome.
We have a medic. We have a pilot. We have an extreme sports person and someone that works at this
a theme park.
Not Disney World.
SeaWorld.
SeaWorld. Yep.
Whoa.
That's his qualification.
What is happening?
Oh, and all of the technology in the show is made by this.
Okay, so is this the introduction of this new Ranger?
Yes. They're testing a new morpher.
Okay, I assumed he was the Red Ranger because he's wearing
He
a
is
shirt.
the Red Ranger.
But he's
Yeah.
Wait, their evil Green Ranger was a Ranger and then turns into a different kind of Ranger?
No. So they built that morpher and they're testing it right now. It's not working.
And they're going to give it to somebody else.
Someone else is going to steal it.
He's not going to be the
cool.
host. It's like a specific,
I love the train, man.
And that train becomes a Zord later in the
season. I know.
It's great.
It's
awesome.
awesome.
One of my favorite Zords.
Like I said, I haven't actually watched this show, but I've walked in on Jason a few times watching it, and I've stopped for a couple minutes. And
Jason is a young man of taste.
Oh yeah, he loves the show.
This show's great. I love the
really
theme. I love the staffs.
Yeah, the staffs are cool.
Yeah, the theme's good.
While we're on the theme, earlier Bob the Hunt asked if you guys would ever want to see an animated Rangers project.
Yes,
Sure.
Absolutely. That's a wonderful idea. And I guess
Captain
that
Mitchell's cool.
That guy's the Captain Logan of the show. I guess pre-Captain Logan, but
yeah, I would.
For folks that don't know, there is a Captain Logan in Power Rangers in Time Force. I've been wanting to cosplay that, and had somebody working on a suit and almost got that done for Power Morphicon last year, and it didn't come together.
I would like to see either a reboot of Power Rangers done by Greg Weisman animated.
Oh yeah, of course.
Or like a vignette thing done by Tartakovsky.
Don't you think whoever's this isn't Weisman? I don't think. Don't you think whoever's doing Voltron is probably the right
those guys
for
are
that?
great. Yeah.
That'd be the right group for it.
They're the Avatar guys. Have all of the episodes we've watched today been written by Judd Lynn?
Just going to say that. They have
I think we're just picking Judd Lynn episodes.
I think he had a co-writer for Lost Galaxy.
Now, to be fair, he's written so much of these.
Well, and he's showrunning at this point. I think he showruns Last Galaxy. I don't know if he does Space, but he kind of moves up and becomes like the man behind the
So I
scenes.
have him to thank for my favorite Ranger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, especially because we invented that.
See, the Titanium Morpher's too powerful, so they have to lock it away.
Okay. That's cool. That's a neat idea.
Also, the Pink Ranger is his daughter. Well, I guess that would.
And I like that it's just advanced technology that they created, and it's not mystical or anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
that, like
the bad guys are demons.
They have maybe but I like that the Morpher is something where they've maybe gone too far.
Well, no, what I mean is it is a technology versus magic kind of.
That's great.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, doesn't the Titanium Morpher? It's like almost like a parasitic type thing. Once he receives it.
I don't remember. I know this. There's the.
Oh, you mean like
thing.
it's symbiotic or something?
Well, like it takes life force.
Like it definitely is damaging him, and
I can't remember if it's the Morpher is or if it's just it's the tattoo because every time he morphs, the tattoo moves.
His dragon tattoo, right? It's a dragon.
It's a cobra.
It's a cobra.
I think.
Even
Smallville totally stole that from Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, they totally did. That happened.
No, it didn't. You're not supposed to say your wish, or it won't come true. Don't people know how
She's never
birthdays
gonna
work?
know now. She's never gonna know.
Don't people know how?
Look at that! Look at that glare. There's sadness in those eyes.
Acting.
You talk about how Captain Mitchell is only a 2-star, whatever he is.
Well, you just talked about.
He's a 2-star captain, obviously.
Why are you running a whole base at 2 stars?
No, but I like the idea that they're obviously riffing on the Evil Green Ranger thing, making their own, because obviously once Tommy tried to use evil power for good, it drained him too. So they're clearly riffing on that whole thing.
Yeah, actually, there's a real literal thing with that. Yeah.
Do they have do they have a pet talking dolphin in the show?
No.
Because Sequest is just not that far off from the goofiness of Power Rangers, and it easily could. All you got to do is add costumes.
It also doesn't have a
Power Ranger show.
cocaine-addicted dolphin like Giant Monster.
Laid its morals on just as thick as Power Rangers did. Dialogue just at, I'm gonna make you watch that when we do
DSV.
When we do he maybe watch television edition. That's gonna be my first pick.
Deep Sea Vengeance. I'm gonna assume is what the
DSV. I forget what it stood for.
It's Deep Sea something, right?
That would be
Deep Sea Ventures.
I want it to be. I want V to always stand for vengeance, but I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying Deep Sea Vengeance sounds pretty hardcore.
Yeah, especially if it was a Power Ranger show. Now it's going too far. Now it's just
Vengeance Force. That should be
yeah,
it's just bad guy Power Rangers.
It's just Power Rangers that have had it up to here.
They just Suicide Squad Power Rangers.
And instead of Zordon, they go by Zedd's orders.
Yeah,
there's a young boy that's never been mentioned before this episode in that picture.
Alden, it's not okay. It's not okay for you to say things like that, okay? Because you're hurting my feelings with all these great things I'll never get.
You took it too far. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's a dun 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 dun.
I have more complex safes like that at work.
My passport. I put it right in my passport. Well, no one would look. Incredible. So that's why he's a 2-star.
Power Rangers got so much more inventive. I mean, I love Mighty Morphin because I'm old school and a purist. Not a purist, but like I used to be. I used to not really like anything that wasn't that era, just because that was my nostalgia. And I thought you can't really enjoy Power Rangers outside of nostalgia. That's not true.
Red Leader Antilles says that there is bad guy Power Rangers and SPD, the A-Team Rangers, but I didn't watch any SPD.
Yeah.
I was just talking about in between Green Ranger and this, we don't really do an Evil Six Ranger again.
He was talking about our bad Power Ranger concept.
Yeah,
but obviously don't do a whole show that's just evil Power Rangers, the show.
Vengeance Force is coming, guys. We're going to pitch it.
Wow, she is pretty bad.
Really
her line delivery is real Astronema. Like, I haven't seen enough of her yet to know if she's worse than Astronema, but Astronema's pretty bad.
I just love how inconsistent this show is with like underwater, but also sort of rescue, but also sort of military, but also demons.
Well, no, they're always rescue, right? They're not military.
But I mean, like, in so much as like there's like that. I guess he looks like a military captain with Mitchell and.
Yeah.
That it's demons. Like you would expect, with their underwater base for it to be something that would relate to that aesthetically. But the demons do come from the deep, I guess, right?
Yeah, they come from underneath the earth.
Yeah.
We put our cities over them, and they weren't happy about it.
Ooh. Now her outfit is cool.
No, her outfit is cool. Oh, hey, Alden, did you know that they actually name dropped Mariner Bay in the Power Rangers movie?
Did they?
Yeah,
That's cool.
It's your standard street corner thing. There's a street corner. It's Mariner Bay, and then the other one is the town in Dino Thunder.
All right, cool. So I'm canonizing all this in my head.
Yeah,
which is I should know that because it's one of my favorite shows, but it's not. I mean,
yeah.
I got a V on my face. It stands for vengeance.
This is the Vengeance Ranger thing. It worked out perfectly.
That's it. He's a Vengeance Ranger.
So what's interesting is. So he has a.
Oh, you have to have that line. Yes, I'm your worst nightmare. You should have done a pan-up shot.
I put it in my passport and it's gone. It looked in the passport. They're gonna retract another.
Mercy Reef. No, that's the Aquaman thing. Sorry, it'll come to me. Sorry. I can't. Reefside. No, I forget. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
He's got a V on his face, which is nice attention to detail because like all of their suits don't have V's, but like all of their weapons have V's. It's because the Sentai is Go 5 V. V shows up a lot because generally Power Rangers teams have 5 members.
The sequel to Go IV.
Yeah.
And the predecessor to Go VI.
So putting a V on his face is nice because there's V's all over the show.
And they all stand.
They're not equipped to fight him like this.
For vengeance.
Oh, this is also, I believe, the last Yellow Ranger's a dude in Japan, but a chick in America.
Oh, wow. Does that go this far?
Yep.
Goodness. Earlier, Alden, you were talking about the like military captain thing. It's more like Coast Guard, right? Because like Coast Guard has captains.
Well, that's true.
Or firefighters also have captains.
Yeah.
I think that's really what he's supposed to be, is like a firefighter captain.
But it being underwater, it being like it seems like kind of a Coast Guard idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's battle axe and blaster. Like, why didn't I ever have one of those? That depresses me.
Yeah.
Don't we do that in Power Rangers quite a bit? Where you have a blaster that's also something else?
Well, yeah. Magnafender has a shotgun sword.
And I think
That's cool.
I think Red Ranger and Dino Thunder, I think, has a blaster that turns into a sword.
And Zax
Maybe
doesn't
that's
actually do that, but everyone played with it like it did when we were kids.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, I know you guys dropped off, but they introduced a shotgun axe in that. Maybe that's where they stole it.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
It's probably the most fun thing in 5 episodes.
I can legitimately believe that the writers of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. were watching Power Rangers for ideas on how to make their show better.
Dude, you have a face and a face in your stomach like a Megazord, but not. And it's got a star on it for some reason.
He's kind of... The star is really important. That's the source of his power, and it will be taken from him later.
Somebody should punch it, obviously. Punch it!
He's kind of both like the lead villain and the Goldar. They kind of... The bad guys kind of have a Zordon. It's a woman that has no arms.
You know what I love about Power Rangers? That I can watch it for the first time, talk over it, and still fully follow what's going on.
His name is Diabolico.
That's great. That is a real military-looking uniform. Her name tag thing makes it look like she just works at a Toys R Us.
Oh, I guess that guy's kind of really the Goldar, but, you know.
And she's, what, like Scorpina?
Usually as Power Rangers goes on, there's always like a chick minion.
Yeah, that's true. Once again, my favorite of those is in Dino Thunder. Because she's also the... Because she also runs the high school. I just think that's hilarious.
I really like the one RPM, but mostly because she's got Dimension and...
See, I'm sure there's all kinds of things I will like better than other things I like right now when I've seen everything.
I also like the ones in Ninja Storm, the two sisters there are annoying. I like them. On the Western Front.
Yeah, and then one of those actors is the girl we were talking about earlier in Dino Thunder.
Yeah, yes.
You know, if I ever want some more...
Because they just liked her that much.
One of those jackets.
I really want one of those jackets.
Yeah, that's a great
I love their jackets. They're my favorite Power Rangers jackets.
I like the Time Force ones better.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like these jackets. I mean,
the Time Force ones are a little busy, but...
Yeah.
I think partly I like them more just because they don't have the name of the show spelled out on the back of them.
The superhero landed on the ground and laughed evilly.
Oh my god. His acting is just the right over the top.
Yeah.
Still laughing.
It's really funny.
The reason Power Rangers has endured this long, I'm convinced, is because it's the only live-action cartoon like this that just goes this far in its audacity in just being a cartoon. Titanium powers are better! I have a V on my face! That stands for titanium!
I also love their morphing sequence. This is really cool.
It's awesome.
Whoa, they have a shield that goes over them.
It's so cool.
Yeah. And then that gives them their... Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Do they ever go down the line, like one after another, or is it always the 5 at once?
I think they do it one after the other for the first couple episodes, and they speed it up to save time.
That's a thing they do a lot in the later shows. Because they actually have enough story that they actually need the time.
With his hands.
Of the show. Wow.
Titanium has the Kung Fu grip. It's great.
Hey, that looks like footage somebody shot in the 60s.
That looks like we shot it for Days of Future Past.
Oh, it's really good that didn't hit him. Miss Fairweather's what the hot chick's name is.
I hope her name's not prophetic. I hope when things get bad, she doesn't just run off. Dr. Fairweather.
No, she's the one
it's too much for me. I'm out.
She's the one that makes all of the technology. She made the Zords. She makes the Morphers.
Is this the first show that does that? That has like a lady that's there that makes everything or runs everything? Because we do that a lot later.
Yep. This
RPM has that. I think that there's a girl that does that.
Yes, there is.
And again, Dino Thunder kind of does that. I mean, the girl in that doesn't make everything, but she kind of helps run stuff. Because I mean, that was all made by Tommy in his paleontology days, apparently.
This is a Power Rangers thing, right? Like they just get a weapon, have never used it. Like this is awesome. Well, let's see if it works first.
Yeah, but again, one of their powers is automatically knowing how to do everything. That is legitimately a Power Ranger power.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the best things about Power Rangers that I'm really taking in tonight is that
get a better aspect ratio, dude.
They always do what they could do in 2 steps. They take 5, like in their combat.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Never forget the importance of style.
Like that. Oh, the best. Like
it's like
he landed it cool and then he was wounded.
Yeah, it's like they always know someone's watching them.
But they don't
tell me what to do.
Like the show doesn't care, but it knows.
You know what I never get tired of, Eric? There's a lot of things I don't like slow motion in. Always love it in Power Rangers. Almost always works in Power Rangers.
See, look, the lances are guns too. They have 5 guns.
Ooh, Spectral Blast. Why do they have a V that hits the V guy?
Lancers.
They added in the Vengeance.
Yeah. They turned that Vengeance right back.
Gotta fight Vengeance with Vengeance, yeah!
Makes sense.
I'm so pumped up watching this.
Yeah.
And he won't go down because Titanium's the best.
Titanium power. They have pathetic power. He has titanium power.
I really think...
we do this a lot in this show too, and I really like it. Where we open the visor.
I thought you always hated it.
Goldar got it.
Oh, you just hate it when we pull the whole thing back.
Yeah, no, I like this. It's cool.
Yeah, now it looks like Danger Diabolic. Mixed with anybody that's ever had a respirator on their face.
We also
You're right, he is a 2-star captain.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, whatever.
You can only afford 2 stars for the costume.
Anyway, it sounds dumb, though. I'm a 5-star captain. Like, it sounds ridiculous. Anyway, I'm going to start saying that. What are you captain of? I don't know, but I'm a 5-star captain. That's what I should start telling people when they ask me what I'm captain of. I should be like, well, I've got this fleet of time Power Rangers that I can send back in time through like a giant hamster wheel. Yeah, that's Vengeance Lancers. Yeah.
No, I already explained. It means 5.
I don't care. What does it mean in the context of this show? Nothing.
That's true.
Of this show,
we didn't go with the 5 thing.
Zilch. Nothing.
This captain is doing his best performance work alone in this boardroom.
Yeah, you're right. That's very impressive. There's nobody else there. Good
He's
job.
really selling it.
Good job. Acting.
We had him dead to rights.
We were going to murder that guy, and you said no.
Maybe it was our only chance.
Why didn't you let us implement Vengeance?
You gave us the Vengeance Lancers.
Look, if you're going to give us Vengeance weapons, you have to expect revenge.
Woo!
Revengeance. Are we going to end on that shot? Yes!
Yeah,
you got to pause on that shot. Oh my God. Eric, you chose excellent episodes. I love your choices.
I love it so much.
Your choices are so much better than my choices.
Okay.
Well, I didn't pick outlandish things like you did. I picked things because of like significance to my interest in Power Rangers and nostalgia and stuff. Well, now, in my defense, most of the early days good episodes are like 3-4 parts. Like,
I like how flat his face is because it's dumb and that pops out and makes it a little bit better.
I would have had to have chosen one episode if I'd gone for like legitimately, again, 4 Power Rangers. I'm using that caveat a lot. Okay, so now we're going to do the second part of this episode. It's called Truth Discovered. It's episode 12. of Lightspeed Rescue. Get it to timestamp 0. We'll give you a couple of minutes to do that. Again, make sure that if it skips the intro for you, that you go back.
Because you don't want to miss that intro.
Alden, anything cool we should be talking about?
Right now in the comments,
I brought you on to moderate the chat, dude. Give us some comments.
Some comments. We got some people talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Somebody suggested that Eric should be subjected to having to do commentaries on them.
Why?
Which because I guess they want the anger, I guess.
But you wouldn't be angry. You would just be bored.
Yeah, it would just be like dull.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would just watch. I mean, if you want to watch Eric fall asleep for 3 hours,
you want to hear the dulcet tones of snoring.
I guess saying 3 hours, I'm assuming that they would mean that it's be one of these, but like just even 45 minutes.
And then Dr. Holocron says that the music cue when they were trying to implement vengeance on the Titanium Rangers sounded like Batman the Animated Series, which I guess I kind of did.
I didn't pick up on them. I was too busy basking in the vengeance of it all.
I really like the description for this episode. Captain Mitchell's reunited with his long-lost son. That's it. It's the only thing that happens this whole episode.
That seems like... Yeah, well, and that's the difference between this era and earlier, eras Power Rangers is that would be the only thing that would be going on. But this seems to be a trend of episodes you're choosing is like father-son things and like father-son tragic.
Is it? Last one was brothers.
Oh, it was brothers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it was a big guy and a tiny kid.
No, it's brothers with the Red Ranger. It is father-son with the Magnet Defender.
With the Magnet Defender, that's what I'm saying. I thought that was his kid.
Yeah, you're right.
That was super. I'm still reeling from that.
So sad.
I'm glad you're here to experience this with us, Alden.
Well, I can't decide if I'm more emotional about that, about him dying, and the fact that I watched somebody actually die and not come back in a Power Rangers thing, which is just blowing my mind. But or if I'm emotional about how much I have to get my hands on that costume to put a kid in.
Yeah,
I need it so bad.
Both, and then you can pick some flowers and let your kid hold it.
But you guys, if I get a Freaky Tiki suit, I'm never taking it off. Like, that's going on me and not leaving. Like that's like if you had an El Cid head, you'd never take it off. You just like that same thing with Freaky Tiki. Like, I can't get over the Freaky Tiki. That is your greatest contribution to the entire channel, Eric. Is Freaky Tiki
to the canon of Geek Evolution.
That's right. To the. I'm really hoping that we can get. We can get good plot to draw that into a title card at some point. Freaky Tiki, he's just lurking in the background. He's hiding behind some bushes. Anyway, is everybody ready? We're at timestamp 0. Truth discovered, episode 12, Lightspeed Rescue. Here, everybody, please press play right now. Really does feel like since the early days, the production values have either increased or technology just got better, both in Sentai footage and the regular footage. And obviously, we've gotten better at integrating it, and the Sentai footage doesn't look as, grainy and different. I feel a flashback coming on. We never do stories like this in Power Rangers without a flashback.
It's true.
In probably any show.
Look at the moody lighting.
Yeah.
We got a fire truck. That was his new toy.
That's real appropriate.
That's interesting.
Lightspeed Rescue.
That makes it kind of his fault. He looks away.
And it was his fault that the Morphin got stolen. I mean, this guy really is a 2-star.
Whoa, this is the most Smallville thing I've ever seen in Power Rangers, you guys. We are right, Alden? Like
the car flying off and everything.
You don't even know what's coming. You don't even know what's coming.
Somebody said it just needs to kick in right now.
Clark jumps in.
You don't know what's coming after the theme song. It's gonna be great.
That looks pretty good.
It did look pretty good.
Wow, I can't believe we blew up a car in Power Rangers. That's hardcore for Power Rangers. Wow.
The song is hardcore.
Or they blew up
it is.
And then we just took that. I don't know.
It was an American-made car, though. I mean, it looked like a Ford Taurus.
So I'm scouring the internet right now during this theme song for a Lightspeed Rescue jacket, and so far, no dice.
I have looked before.
Oh, I thought you were going to go try to tell me if that was a Ford Taurus or not.
I have looked before, and I cannot find one.
No, I can only find the Lightspeed Rescue Red Ranger costume.
Run, Rage!
There's also not a plethora of in-space jackets, which I would think there would be.
Man, I wish the Viper actress could act because her suit is awesome. Her name is awesome.
I love his arm shoot out.
And
Eric,
what's better is that
Yeah,
his arms jet out to the theme song. Lightspeed Rescue!
230?
230, it's like a cosplay jacket. Someone.
All right, I'm going to start my own Patreon.
So we need $460 to get 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, if you're getting one of those, I have to have a Captain Logan jacket.
Well, can I kickstart it?
Can we kickstart you getting that jacket and me getting a Captain Logan jacket?
And the perks are we'll do a hangout in the jackets.
And then you will never see them again.
What are you talking about? It's like Freaky Tiki. You never take it off.
That's true. I wear that jacket a lot.
Yeah, I never would.
This is really dramatic.
It is.
It's going to stop being dramatic.
The fire, the shoe.
Oh, she's like hanging on to his shoe?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, sup?
Hi there.
I forgot.
Go away! Look, you just leave because I'm busy trying to save my daughter. There's nothing you can do, you flying demon thing, to help me. No, what are you talking about, Eric? That is horrifying. This demon thing comes out of nowhere and is like can't do anything to help. Isn't even corporeal.
Like, that looks better than the one in RoboCop.
Chewie's lover wants to know if they ever
really
say the word "kill" in Power Rangers because I guess they said it.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I think you can use "kill" as long as you're not saying you are going to kill someone. I think you can say they will be killed.
Or they.
But the question is, have they done it?
I'm not sure.
Oh, that's real specific. I guess he knows the future. Or is that just his plan?
That's his plan.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man,
you didn't even help me get up! Come on, everything about that worked until... No!
I want to imagine like he tried to toss her up onto the edge of the cliff or something.
Yeah.
When you find out your boss's son was raised by your enemy.
What, Skeletor? Anybody?
I like this voice.
Yeah.
Man, this is really dangerous, Eric. This is getting me into such Power Rangers mood right now.
And Diaboliko's a cool he's a character a little bit of levels.
I remember Daddy Diabolico. Danger Diabolico.
All these years.
I'm jealous of this script. I wish I could write a script like this, Eric.
So, this guy's really cool, like the actor. And I heard him on the Power Rangers podcast where he was joking about if he got to come back for Power Rangers, he would grow a mustache like his dad.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then they brought him back for Superman Force, and
he didn't have
I don't think he had enough time to get a mustache, really.
Oh,
he really reminds me of Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, but like he can act.
Yeah, like he should have been the choice.
Yeah, Hayden Christensen would have brought down a Power Rangers. That's not fair. That's not fair.
Did you see Jumper?
I've never seen him in anything other than Star Wars.
Oh, I saw Jumper.
Is he good in anything? Is there a thing where
I have heard 2 recent things apparently?
I don't want to be unfair to the man. I just want to make
there's
fun
a movie
of
called
everyone.
like Broken Glass or something.
Yeah, it's that one. I've heard that he's incredible in that.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Okay.
I'm never gonna watch it because I like making fun of him.
Yeah, you don't want to tarnish that.
Yeah, I don't want to tarnish that.
You want to have a reason not to. He was really, really well received at Star Wars Celebration this year, though. I was happy for him.
Make my Hayden grow!
That's because everyone that remembers Star Wars before he started acting has like died off, and they've been replaced by the new generation.
Crickets.
that joke didn't play. I apologize.
Oh no, but it's because for a second I was trying to decide where I fell in the generations.
He was trying to decide if he was allowed to have the opinion he has, being in the generation that he's in.
Yeah, I was like, well, Hayden Christensen kind of was a big deal to me, but then I don't know.
You know, I'm impressed that after space, these kind of bases, be they in space or somewhere else, no longer look like Star Trek Voyager.
Well, and this one's really elaborate, and like they clearly have like a rather large standing set.
Yeah, it looks pretty massive. And may I say, Eric, their graphics on their monitors and things better than Babylon 5.
Sure. Yeah, but it's like 6 years later.
Connor says Hayden Christensen had a mustache in 90 Minutes in Heaven.
No, so it wouldn't be that much later. So Mighty Morphin starts in what, 93?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like, oh no, you're right. It would be 5 or 6 years late. This is what, 99 or 2000 by this point already.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Kindergarten.
Wow. Oh yeah, we can tell. We can tell that just based on.
You were watching this in kindergarten. I was watching this in 4th grade.
I graduated in 14, so.
And I would have been watching this in the tail end of junior high school.
But you weren't, because you were a cool kid.
Yeah, I was in that. I should say I was in that era where I was a little bit worried as a teenager. People would make fun of me for watching Power Rangers, so a lot of us just weren't watching it. But also, it wasn't great. At least when I dropped off.
I just learned not to tell people I was watching Power Rangers.
That would have been a good strategy, sure. Or I could just not care.
Barry Allen, we are at timestamp about 8:10.
Thanks, Holden.
The other day, I was at work, and someone was, like, stickering DVDs and asked, and just, like, looks up from these 2 Power Rangers DVDs and goes, which would you rather be? A Dino Thunder or a Ninja Storm? I was like, well, Dino Thunder, because that show's really good. And she's like, oh, I didn't expect you to know anything about the 2 things I was talking about. I just meant literally a Ninja Storm or a Dino Thunder.
Oh wow.
And I had to go Ninja Storm because it's a storm of ninjas, whereas Dino Thunder is just sound.
It's just a sound of dinosaurs thundering.
So yeah, or is it that every single time there was thunder, it was a dinosaur's roar?
Yeah, and that's cool, but the problem with I would have to go with Ninja Storm too because, like, that sounds useful. Like, you could use a storm of ninjas for so many things. There's a lot of.
Do they rain down or do they circle around like a hurricane?
Are they like a tornado?
It's like a tornado that shoots out ninjas.
Yeah, there's so many applications for a Ninja Storm.
So I really like that she's very much on the nature versus nurture side of the argument, because she said no brother of mine can be as evil as you are. Well, he's been raised since he was like 5 by demons.
Right, but she realizes how, like, the twin thing works, where, like, you could be raised by totally different people or wolves or something, and you would still have, like, facial tics and things that are similar.
But you're alive, too.
Now it's over, Ryan.
Well, they have guns that turns into, like, batani swords.
Cool. You wanted to grow up to be a fireman.
Yeah, so he's a fireman. That's why he's a captain. He's 2-star captain.
Right, and that's why he had a fire truck.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Gotcha.
It's cool that we gave the 2-star captain some, like, character stuff. Like a tragic backstory.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll earn
Captain Logan didn't get that, I don't think.
I mean, maybe the repeating theme in the episodes I'm picking is, like, that they're really dark Power Rangers, but dangling off a cliff with your kid hanging onto your shoe is pretty dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they fell.
And then having to continue to hang there.
Yeah. We did not get the resolution of that.
And holding off the shoe, losing the shoe.
Somebody says, I saved your kid, now I'm taking him.
See, when your morphing sequence is this cool, nobody's going to make fun of you for having stock footage, especially because it's so short.
Yeah.
I have a theory, Eric.
That this monster's kind of generic, but
yeah,
kind of cool.
Well, yeah, his head's neat. But I have a theory. Is part of the reason that we go to uniformed premises, like, before we get into the Ranger suits, post the Mighty Morphin era, so that in the morphing sequence they're always wearing the same clothes when they go into the morphing?
Maybe.
Because that's always goofy in Mighty Morphin. Like, they're wearing different clothes, and they have just a generic whatever they're wearing when they go to the morphing sequence.
I like that the Bat Lady, when she laughed, the subtitles didn't say laughter like it normally does. It said ha ha ha. Because that's exactly how she
Which means that was the line maybe in the script, or just how whoever...
Well, it's exactly how she delivered it.
Actually, I think usually when the subtitlers get a hold of these, they don't have the scripts in front of them. They're probably just going by whatever it sounds like. I never thought in a million years I would talk as much about subtitles.
That's their Finster, and I love him. He's super cool.
Oh, they have a Finster.
Yeah.
Not everybody has a Finster. Because there's a lot of different ways we get monsters, right?
And his monsters are card based. But we didn't really get a good close-up on him, but I
so
really like his design.
Yeah, I saw his face. That's so Japanese, and is a thing that took a lot of time for me to remotely understand.
The cards?
Just that things are card. Like, you grew up in a time where there were a lot more card-based things. Like, when I was a kid, that was not a thing.
Cap, you didn't believe in the heart of the cards?
I did not, because I did not know about such a thing.
They're running that train.
Oh, man, they're going to do the train Megazord!
Well, not the train one. Probably not.
What?
Yeah, we grew up
I don't
in
think
like
they have the train one yet.
Yu-Gi-Oh, so that was pretty like that villain had more impact.
Is it not a Megazord yet?
It's a Megazord carrier.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But I don't know if it's a Megazord yet.
I meant to mention the carriers. We have Tor's one of those, and wow, that's all. It's cool. That's legitimately cool.
Oh, I guess we do.
There it is.
Megazord. Yeah,
yes,
cool.
Train Megazord. Pyramidas is a carrier Zord.
I love, and he's the dumbest one. I know you don't agree with me on that, but he's the dumbest.
I love Pyramidas, but again,
he is literally the toy that they make fun of in Big,
where you just put stuff in it.
Where it's just like it's just a big toy. It's like, what does this do?
It's like, well, you put your other toys in it.
I think Lightspeed Rescue might have my favorite.
They basically made an epic carrying case. They put their carrying cases in the show.
Because I really like this one. I really like the regular one. So they got missiles and guns and stuff.
This is amazing. That's really cool.
It didn't work. Those are the only things we equipped this Megazord with.
Power Rangers is just kicking Doc Brown while he's down right now, you guys. Like,
he wished he
come on, Doc Brown. You wish you came up with the time-traveling Megazord that's a train.
Ooh. They go on his fist.
What's it doing now?
It's doing a Kamehameha.
The problem with this fight is that it never looked like this monster stood any kind of chance.
That's what happens when you make something that cool.
It's like, no, you need to put like 16 monsters together as their own, like, genetic Megazord.
Oh, to jump back to the card thing for a second.
They should do that, actually.
Before we got off on Yu-Gi-Oh! The cards in this are more like tarot deck cards than they are like trading cards.
Okay.
Because they're demons and stuff.
That makes sense. So they got the occult thing going on.
Yeah.
That guy spent all morning on that hair, and
his vengeance meter ran out.
Yeah, he just woke up. His hair was just like that. I want the card to still be there. Please be there.
I don't go to the gym. I just naturally like this.
Pan around. I want to see that the car's still there. I want no one to have dealt with that car in 20 years.
It didn't even occur to me.
The rail was replaced. At least the rail was replaced.
How long did you hang there, Father?
You remember when Clark Kent jumped in there and saved you, and then put like a red blanket around you, and you remember that?
And that's why you're balding.
I tried, but there was this demon that was distracting me, and I couldn't grab you quick enough. And
think back, it was 15 years ago.
Do you remember the reason you wanted to be a fireman is because I gave you a toy that was a fireman toy?
Well, and because he's a fireman.
That too.
That's why he's a 2-star captain.
He wants to grow up and be a 3-star captain.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if that guy came back and had a mustache like his dad?
It totally would.
And he was around.
See, now I wish I'd seen the Lightspeed Rescue guys at Power Morphicon, because I think some of them were there. Whoa! What is wrong with you? You're a crazy person!
Oh, man.
What?
Same branch. Same branch.
Okay, his vengeance meter has not run out. It is just getting started.
He's in the second tier.
Did he just try to kill his dad?
Yeah.
He tried to
Yeah, he just tried to push him off the cliff.
It's the same branch.
They only made one. They only had enough money for one branch, okay?
But they're lighting it differently, so it's fine.
Oh, now I remember. That demon just showed up and snatched me.
So did they really just as a plot point have him try to kill his dad so he could be in that exact situation so that he would remember what happened?
I don't think it's the same branch. That one doesn't turn out nearly as much. It may be the same branch, but it's changed over.
That's
over
what that was.
years.
That was him trying to murder his father. Was a plot convenience for him to come to a personal realization. Oh, I've never seen anything.
Oh, it's like so funny, isn't it? It's so funny, Dad.
Oh, we're gonna die.
I tried to murder you, but now I understand. You were just trying to save me. You're gonna die now, but we can have a little laugh about it.
At least you finally have your vengeance.
He just let go.
Oh my god.
Does he die? He doesn't die, right? Oh,
No,
he's
he's got.
gonna save him. Okay. Vengeance Ranger, power up,
The
huh?
Assassin's Creed dive.
No, the Assassin's Creed is doing the Titanium Ranger dive.
True.
Yeah, I mean,
True.
I assume the characters in that game are called the Assassin's Creed.
I mean, he was for a second kind of an assassin
I just
of his
love
own
that.
father.
On
Not working for anyone. That's
I
not an
love
assassin
that.
at all.
Even though
That's a murderer.
the cliff is perpendicular to the ground, he's able to launch off of it downward.
Yeah, that's how physics work.
Like I said, they have packed a lot into this episode.
Yeah.
This is the longest Power Rangers episode I've ever watched. And I don't mind that you tried to murder me so that you could come to your important personal realization.
So, is it safe to say that J.J. Abrams also stole the Han-Kylo Ren relationship from this?
Well, J.J. Abrams also stole, looking at his Star Trek and Star Wars, he also stole, like, dad issues from Power Rangers, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure only Power Rangers has ever done that.
And just generally almost dying, falling off a cliff. You got that from this also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, cowboy hat guy, I think this situation is too intense and solemn to still be wearing your cowboy hat.
Well, he was already wearing it. What was he going to do?
No, you take it off because,
He should take it off and put it on his heart.
That's exactly what he should do.
True. Yeah, but how long does he have to stand like that? Like, let's be realistic here.
I will say that he's committed to the hat. You got to respect it.
Yeah, he absolutely is. It gives him confidence.
I understood that reference.
Meanwhile, back at Skeletor's base, I love the look of that castle.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I'm still talking like a bad person.
I remember it because I tried to kill him in the same spot.
Luckily, that branch was still there. It would not have jogged my memory. Don't make me I'll lock you in your room with no supper.
He'd be so grounded.
Ryan.
Oh man, he is channeling David Boreanaz so hard.
All right, so we are only watching these two.
But I wish we were watching more.
If you were to keep watching, what happens is he decides to be a good ranger, and Diabolico puts a snake tattoo on him that every time he morphs moves up his body until it gets to his neck and it's going to kill him.
Oh, I thought maybe we would actually see that in this.
No, because that was 2 episodes.
Oh, so the Train Megazord was just one of the greatest things I've ever seen in Power Rangers. That was really cool. And I got to see someone try to murder his father in a Power Ranger show, and his dad
so cool.
Be the most understanding person I've ever seen in anything. Like, they could have really dragged that out for drama for episodes. But you tried to murder. I know, Dad. It was important. We had to use it to propel ourselves to the next plot point.
Like, the father went through such an emotional gauntlet in that moment of fear and then happiness and contentment and then self-sacrifice. This was loaded.
I've never seen a character that was that understanding in anything.
You know what? He earned his 3rd star in my heart.
He did. He
is now a 3-star captain.
He should have gotten another star just for
100%.
Being okay with being propelled off a cliff to get us to the next plot point. Okay, so we've got 2 episodes left. But there's a part of me that really just wants to do this all night because this has been so much fun. Folks, we're going to watch a Dino Thunder episode now. I had to pick a 1 episode, and I almost thought just to be funny about picking the clip show, but I did not pick the clip show because we could have just talked about every Power Rangers season up to that point for 22 minutes. But instead, I chose what I think is the episode right after that, which is Back in Black, where Tommy becomes a Black Ranger for the first time. Because I love that moment. I just think that was the thing that really solidified that show for me. So that's really the only reason we're watching that, and because it has a couple of my favorite lines in the show. So Back in Black, it's episode 5 of Dino Thunder on your Netflix, and go find it.
And is this Jason David Frank's first time since when?
Came back for 1 episode in Wild Force that was called Forever Red, where they got all the Red Rangers back.
but it's an obvious choice.
Yeah,
everybody does Forever Red.
It wasn't until we sat down that I was like, oh, neither of us picked Forever Red.
It just seemed like the most obvious place to go. I mean, maybe at some point we'll do a commentary on that.
I love the idea of the Black Ranger. I like the aesthetic a lot.
These are some of my favorite costumes.
They're really good.
But I think Brachio is way better than the rest of it. I think it's almost too cool for the rest of it. It's weird. I mean, it is of the same aesthetic, but it's very. I mean, it's cool that Tommy got or that Jason David Frank got to play it because it's very much that same almost like the same White Ranger, Green Ranger thing where it's a different design, but it fits with the rest of it. And White Ranger obviously is more that way, but I actually like Brachio better than White Ranger.
No, I love the White Ranger.
Do you?
Design. Yeah.
So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Well, and some of it is I can't stop making fun of the fact that the new 2099 costume looks too much like that, like the White Ranger
especially when he goes to super mode and he has the spikes coming out.
And those are so goofy.
Yeah,
I wish we were watching an episode with those. I don't think this has that.
I don't think White Ranger's in this yet.
No, the White Ranger's not, but everybody has that mode.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
but that's always funny because they have
and they're all ugly.
They're like rubber. They're like rubber or plastic or something, and they just bounce around all the time. And yeah, it's great. They have these spikes that come out, Aiden. That's not your name. Alden, and they just bounce around. Whenever you move your arm.
Just drop the mic, leave. I'll understand.
Yeah, that's cool. No problem. I just slipped the tongue. You know.
I'm gonna unpack a board game, set it up, flip it.
Well, Alden was the best intern ever, but now he's flipping board games. So you know.
Just throw Rasco under the bus there.
Oh no. I mean, Rasco was a great intern, but he was only an intern for about 6 seconds, and then he was everything real quick. So he didn't get to intern for a long time. By the way, Alden has been amazing.
That means he's fastest growing.
What's that now?
That's it's the fastest turnaround, from intern to holding a position within a company. That's impressive.
It was really quick. Yep.
It's a high bar.
But yeah, I can't say enough about the job Alden's been doing, and he's been amazing, and we love talking to him and having him around. And
thanks, man.
People have no idea the stuff behind the scenes that Alden's doing for me, and it's making my life a lot easier. And I
do want everybody to know
I have a lot of really cool ideas that I have watched.
I have now watched both Amazing Spideys, and I don't like watching them after Homecoming. It's strange.
I'm having a little tough time with that myself. Working on the rewind.
Weird. Yeah, it was weird, man. We'll talk about that later. But
and right in the rewind, I'm just I don't even want to go into that. Obviously, you know what I mean. I'm not talking. I'm not comparing it to that. I'm not going to talk. That's not fair. Yeah. I'm not going to talk about it. But it just feels kind of tedious, especially because it's kind of a moot point now. It wasn't finished. It's never going to get finished. And I think those are going to be so forgotten. And I think that's sad with Amazing because I think there's some legitimately great stuff going on in that movie. Yeah. But it's got a really good take on the origin and the responsibility idea, but
somebody said that Rasco is going to push you off a cliff now. That goes out to Dr. Holocron for that great joke. Well done.
But Rasco would understand because he might not even remember being an intern. It was so short. It was so short.
Well, once you go over the cliff, he's going to remember.
Right. And then I will be so understanding about it. Anyway, okay, so season 1, the only season of Dino Thunder, sadly. This was the season that got a lot of petition for a second season, and obviously there was no more Sentai footage. It's not like they could do that, but people were just begging them to do another one of these. But anyway, episode 5 of Dino Thunder. Everybody get ready to press play. Here we go. Timestamp 0. Everybody, please press play right now.
You said there's no way they could do it, but I would like to see them attempt a space thing again where we keep a cast.
I would like to see that as well. And this would have been a good time to do that because this had a really good cast.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there aren't other shows that did, but everybody in this show can act.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? In fact, I would go as far as to say that the teenage rangers in this show are out acting Jason David Frank.
Well, yeah.
Because he's not a great actor. He's a lot of fun. I love him, but you have legitimate actors in the show. And people who went on to do things.
Love Ranger here.
I love her.
Yeah, she's great.
And I've talked about this before, but the kid playing Connor is from New Zealand. A lot of people in Power Rangers are from New Zealand, and he's one of their big independent directors now, and has had a few films that have been really critically acclaimed.
Maybe
I'd love to watch some of his
Power
stuff.
Sequel.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, maybe he'll remember his roots.
And I've also talked about this, but he's the grandson of the actor who played Alfred in Batman '66.
Well, that's cool.
And if you look it in the face, you can see it.
Oh, the slow walks.
I'm not a big Haley fan.
She's all right.
She's okay.
I'm not sure so far like what her personality is supposed to be. Just in that little scene.
She just seemed a little superfluous to me. I mean, she's basically your Alpha 5.
But also she makes the things. And
she makes some of the things. I guess Alpha probably technically does too. But he's probably not competent enough to actually make things.
Wait, did she say it can get to where you need to go in 0.75 seconds?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, that's amazing. Why don't you just have beaming technology like you had in Mighty Morphin? Maybe they don't know how to do that.
Invisiportal.
Yeah.
That way we don't have to animate it.
They do animate it, though.
Yeah, it's not an Invisiportal now, is it?
Well, it's invisible until you get to it. Like, it's cloaked. They should have just called it a cloaked something, rather. But, Okay, so watch this. They'll do the Hoth thing, which I thought was just this show. And there are other Power Ranger seasons that do the Hoth thing. I think the one before it did it.
Can I tell you, I don't love their morphers.
No, I don't love them either. They're better than some seasons.
I mean,
at least they're not phones.
They're not as bad as cell phones in a fantasy show.
Yeah, that's the worst. I don't like phone morphers. Here comes Mesogog.
I mean, the worst morphers are Operation Overdrive with the sunglasses.
So Mesogog, and you notice, like, we're in the middle of kind of a story arc here, and we tend to do that through the show. Where we'll leave us at a place and we'll come to the next episode. But Mesogog has some of the best prosthetics in Power Rangers.
Yeah, it looks great.
His mouth always sinks.
Just like Goldar.
And no, not just like Goldar. I love Mesogog because he has an actual plan and goal. Some Power Rangers villains do not have that. Now, to be fair, I had not watched a lot of the shows before this, so that was new to me in a way it wasn't to other fans. But he wants to bring back the age of the dinosaurs, turn everybody into dinosaurs. He's basically the lizard in Amazing Spider-Man.
What is her name, his assistant?
That's Elsa.
Elsa looks just like Bazine Natal from the Star Wars expanded canon. She's in Force Awakens for 2 seconds. She sells them out to the First Order.
And Elsa has a zipper face.
Well, this Elsa is a werewolf woman of the SS.
Elsa is also the principal at the high school, which is a lot of fun.
She's like Mystique in the first season of X-Men Evolution.
Oh, good call. Yeah.
Or all of X-Men Evolution.
Yeah, I just love the idea that your principal is actually a villain. And it's not like they're actually doing a social commentary with that, really, but there's a little. It's fun. So here are the motorcycles that they're not going to use much.
They don't look that good.
They have big, angry, snarly faces on them.
Yeah, but they don't have a lower jaw because there's a wheel, and that's weird to me.
Look at that monster!
That's a pretty good monster.
So there's Zeltrax. And he's my favorite of the Goldars. Partly because he's got the best voice. I was actually sad when we finally get his back. And his backstory is not great. I was kind of sad to discover when we get his backstory that he does not have a face that goes with that voice.
You don't have to tell me you're firing lasers. Just fire them.
And Zeltrax also is very much Goldar in the sense that he is always fighting Tommy.
See how it doesn't have a lower jaw? That's weird.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a very strange design choice.
The role Tommy plays in this is basically Zordon, except he's sometimes a ranger.
which we'll do in SPD as well.
Oh, interesting.
And
right.
I think Mystic Force.
With the dog guy.
Yeah, I think Mystic Force does that too.
And when I say Zordon, I mean like the mentor that gives them their instructions. He's this message will self-destruct in 5 seconds guy.
I love that you can't tell where on the bike the lasers emit from. It makes me happy.
You can tell that's not what was going on in the Sentai footage, if that was Sentai footage.
This doesn't look like it, but as we've talked
some
about
of
before,
it could be mixed
it gets
in
harder
now.
to tell as we move forward.
Yeah, like a lot of this isn't, but like this could be.
Yeah.
It's real hard to know.
Yeah.
That can't be because that's Elsa.
So it's probably not.
But they might have gotten more sophisticated at mixing stuff in. We like to do these kinds of shots a lot, and especially with blowing up things. We have a slow motion like dive onto something, and then lasers and explosions.
Because you gotta shoot something with a laser?
Right, and it's gonna be in slow motion. And then see, there it is! We do so much of this in this show. Ethan and Shrent were both at Power Morphicon. I didn't get a chance to talk to them.
You're an interesting looking
I regret.
monster design, but I don't know like what your theme is or what the idea that you represent is.
Are you a plant thing? Or are you growing fruit on your feet?
Are you a sea thing?
Well, we do like to amalgamate a lot of things.
Has he got bananas on your feet?
Yeah, right. He's got bananas on his feet. Oh, look at Zeltrax. There he goes. I love Zeltrax so much I bought his action figure when the show was out. Now looking back, I wish I'd bought everything from the show because it's hard to get. And we were talking about morphers earlier, and I'm with you. The morphers aren't the best in this, but to complete my out of morph Tommy costume at Power Morphicon, I had to get that morpher, and I spent too much on it, and I hate that. But
have I told you about my genius investment scheme for Power Rangers?
You're just gonna buy everything.
I'm just gonna buy morphers.
Yeah,
wait 10 years
because they're always worth so much money.
Yep.
And then in 10 years, we can afford our Lightspeed rescue jackets.
Yeah. Yeah.
It all cyclical. It
always thinking that guy.
The soundtrack in this show kind of drives me crazy because they do this melody and fight sequences just over and over again, and it gets stuck in my head for 3 weeks, and it drives me insane. It's not bad. It's just we don't do anything else. And then we just repeat that over and over again. And we have Ninja Storm to blame for it because it starts there, and it's not exactly that melody, but it's close. And then they do it here, and then I think the show after this does something similar too.
Probably you have Disney to blame for it because Ninja Storm's the first Disney season.
Sure. But I mean, like, it's that. I just mean it's the same team making those shows. So,
but they might just not have had enough money to do something different.
I'm really glad they didn't start with this show, or couldn't have started with the show, that they did Ninja Storm first, because that, from what little I've seen of it, seems like a decent show, but it's kind of proving ground for all the stuff that works in this. Mesogog's my favorite villain next to
What a great line.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun, and he tortures his minions.
He's not as threatening as Shredder, who chops his minions' limbs off.
But that's because it's Power Rangers, so we can't really expect that. But man, my favorite thing about Mesogog is when he gets right up in the camera and goes, "Ha!" He just does it all the time. It's great. His face is the thing that's talking! Stop that! Don't insult Mesogog.
Whoever's playing Mesogog has like a really great like theatrical stance.
Yes. Yeah. Which is very important for Power Ranger monsters. And Power Rangers anything, really. We haven't been talking about this at all, but so much of Power Ranger acting is, without being able to use your face, so it's always big, and
which is a
stage and
a thing I brought up years and years and years and years and years ago.
You're not that old.
See, I didn't say all those years ago.
It's not possible.
But years and years and years ago, when we talked about Absolute Justice on Smallville, and
that was a really long
the guy
time
who
ago.
plays Dr. Fate, just kind of stands in a costume.
Yeah,
I was like, no, when you're in a costume, you got to over emote a little bit. You got
a great costume to over emote in.
Yeah.
Absolute Justice.
You know what? I didn't realize, and again, I'm saying for Power Rangers, that they set up Tommy becoming a ranger in this when he says you're a ranger, and then Ethan says not anymore. I just had forgotten that they foreshadowed that, which is kind of neat because the first time this was on, I didn't expect they would go that far. I really didn't think they would have a 40-year-old guy be a Power Ranger. And it was just really cool that they went
I'm
that
still
far.
just waiting for Bulk to get to be a Ranger.
I know. That's all I want.
He's put in his time. If a kid can become a Power Ranger, then Bulk can become a Power Ranger.
Yeah, he can just slim up every time he morphs, just like the kid grows. That's what I would do with it. Wouldn't that be great? Where you can't tell me he wouldn't love that. I'm with you, dude. What is it?
What is he?
What is it? Oh,
what
wow.
Are those
guys, this is really cool.
Cables that are just strewn about.
I had forgotten about this.
On the floor.
Tommy gets hand-to-hand combat with the main villain in episode 5. That's really cool.
But what are the Christmas lights on the floor?
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
So within the context of like the overarching Tommy story, like at this point at the beginning of this series,
let's pretend like there is such a thing.
Yeah, is he supposed to be like retired since his last full-time series?
Yes, he has become.
He has a second career, and it's preposterous and completely unbelievable.
What is it? Is he an archaeologist?
He's a paleontologist. And he helped the scientist guy who we'll find out is Mesogog.
Okay.
And Anton Mercer, he helped him create, for whatever reason, this whole a new version of Power Rangers with all this Dino themed stuff. And it's cool that it's Dino themed because, of course, that's what Mighty Morphin was.
But he also had to have done it in the span of like 2 years, because when we see him in Wild Force and Forever Red, he just seems to be like trolling around and being like a cool Power Ranger.
Yeah, it's completely unbelievable.
Full time since when? Since Zeo at that point?
Turbo.
Since Turbo.
Yeah, he was the Red Ranger in Turbo through half that show.
Gotcha.
And then left when they brought in the new Rangers and TJ.
That was inspiring.
So cool to have a zipper on your face.
Yeah. Zipper face.
There he is.
Hey, he comes in for being invisible.
Yeah.
That's going to be important later.
Yeah. Yes, it is. But one of the things I love about the show is that the Rangers have specific powers only unto themselves, and the black one makes you invisible.
Oh, and if you don't know, he gets trapped in his costume for a couple episodes.
No, for a lot of episodes.
And then he becomes invisible for some episodes.
I thought he went in a coma.
I thought he became invisible. They couldn't afford him for the whole season.
They go real well with Dino. I just love this whole bit.
Oh, his Morpher's cool.
Yeah, it's better than the others.
Yeah.
I have one upstairs. I just didn't when this was on, I didn't expect they would go this far. When this was on TV, it was a big deal.
He has an awesome helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the fin.
Ah.
But not those bikes. Not those bikes.
That's great.
It's so awesome.
Part of the reason I picked this is because of the wardrobe line at the end. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite lines.
It's one of my favorite lines. The only thing about this helmet is that if you were actually fighting him, it looks like it has a handle on the top, so you just grab it and like throw him around.
That's true.
You really don't want a handle on top of your helmet. Like, it looks cool, but it's really impractical.
And all you had to do was make it solid.
Yeah. His staff is also super cool.
His staff is super cool.
I did have an opportunity to buy all the weapons from the show at Power Morphicon, and it was too much, and I didn't think I could get them in my suitcase on the airplane.
Why do you have bananas on your ankles?
I know.
Maybe they're squashes.
It's been real distracting this whole time.
And he doesn't... Did he get a name, or does he just have a generic name like Monstro or something?
That's what his name is now. Yeah, he's not like Freaky Tiki. You know, he doesn't have a cool name that goes with what his clear, obvious aesthetic is. Okay, so you will see this fight and this kind of banter with them, every time Tommy morphs. Like, he just fights Celtrax. That's all he does.
And apparently,
which is okay, because Celtrax is the best thing.
He's supposed to be revealed to be Billy.
Yes, which would have been great. Instead, he is Tommy's old assistant named Smitty. That's his name. His name is Smitty.
I'm not looking for you. I just want to know what you are.
So Alden, and I feel more vindicated now that I know that there are characters in other Power Ranger shows that have died and not returned. But there's an episode later, toward the end of the season, where Zeltrax seems to have died. Okay. And I love Zeltrax so much that I stopped watching the show. Really? Wow. Like, I was just like, I don't care anymore. You killed off Zeltrax. I'm not watching this anymore. And it was a year later, because my stepmom watches Power Rangers still. And I was talking to her about Dino Thunder. We grew up, when I was growing up, she and I watched it together, and it's a real nostalgic for her too. So she still watches. And she was telling me about she was like, did you watch the end of Dino Thunder? And I was like, no, they killed Zeltrax. She was like, you are the most gullible person on the planet. Zeltrax did not die. He comes back. What? She goes, and I taped them all, and we can watch them together. And so that's what we did.
That's incredible.
Zeltrax's sword is pretty cool.
Yeah. That's one of the things I love about him. One of the 3 or 4 things there is to love about Zeltrax.
Well, I mean, his head's cool. He's got that going for him. If nothing else, that you can put that on a job resume. Cool head.
His voice is great. It would have been really cool with that voice if it had turned out to be Billy.
Yeah.
As it is, it's just another kind of like, snivelly lab assistant guy. And it's kind of... It's just really preposterous that he doesn't take that helmet off and look anything like that.
Why did they CGI his head there? Did you see that? It was either really poorly lit or for no reason they CGI'd his head.
I don't remember any other place where they do that.
What do you mean, no way?
You have...
The first thing that happens in this show is Tommy's talking to the Rangers, and he goes, "Let me guess, the monster grew real big."
That wasn't the first. That was like last episode.
Oh, is it? Well, it's the first Megazord episode.
That's my other favorite line in the show. Let me guess, the monster you were just fighting is 30 stories tall now. It's just great how these later seasons are so self-aware.
I
wish Disney still had the license. They really knew what to do with this.
Well, Disney wouldn't be doing anything because it wasn't making Disney money, but
I know, but I'm just saying I wish it had and they were able to keep it.
I don't like the CGI Zords. That's a thing.
Yep. But we had the same problem with some of the stuff we watched earlier, man. Worse than the CG Zords is the lack of a set inside them.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that they don't have a command center, a bridge inside. Mm-hmm. I don't like that. And I don't like that they don't have like...
He's electric now?
What is this monster? Okay, they do sort of have a set, but it's like they're in a pocket dimension or something.
I don't understand what Haley's actress is doing.
She's the man.
She's sending them things.
She doesn't seem like she's stressed at all for them. She was really confident in her inventions.
Well, I mean, somebody has to have a level head, and that's her.
And it's not all her inventions. I mean, a lot of it is just the stuff that Mercer and Tommy put together. I love the models there.
Cool.
Oh, awesome.
Are you, Tommy? Are you making a commercial right now, or are you trying to help your team?
I love it when it just goes to gradient color in the background.
Well, it's from Japan.
So, as much as I love the show, I really don't like this Megazord. And my big thing with it is it's supposed to be Dino themed, but it's this is great. I forgot about this whole thing. This ridiculous boxing ring thing. But it's based more as much on like power tools. You don't see as much of that here, but sometimes it has a power drill on one side and a saw on the other side, and it just seems like they went to Home Depot and they compiled together their Megazord.
And I generally don't like the modular Zords. I feel like they have no real distinct identity, and because they know they're going to be modular, the base design is never that good.
And so Tommy decided to not tell them so that he could make a great grand entrance.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's great.
You were wearing black.
That is the only black thing he owns. black. I don't know. I love that. And it's so dumb because it's like, no, you don't want people to know that you're a Power Ranger. Why would you wear that color? And all that's the rules, and he knows it. And yeah, that'd be great. So anyway.
If we can take a brief interlude, I have friends restroom.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
Sure, and we should have done that earlier, but I was having so much fun I didn't even think of it. No, folks, we're going to take a 5-minute break. We'll be right back.
All right, so I am here with Linkara. Madonna the Fourth Wall, and I got his glasses. I'm supposed to tell you before I start. So YouTube user named Metal Virgin.
Hey, folks, we are back. We have taken our intermission now just before our final episode of the evening because we were having so much fun. We completely forgot to have an intermission earlier, but I'm sure some of you folks at home probably didn't mind getting up and going and doing whatever we had to do in the middle of our talk about Power Rangers. But we forgot to do it for ourselves. So anyway, we are going to watch and talk now about our last episode, chosen by Eric. It is the RPM episode Ranger Blue, which, as I said earlier, is the only episode of this show that I have ever seen.
It's one of my favorites.
And it is one of the best episodes of Power Rangers I've ever seen.
So
I need to watch the rest. Well, no, that's not fair. I have seen the pilot to this show, but that's all.
This is the pinnacle of the self-awareness that you were talking about.
It is. It's wonderful. They have really decent explanations for lots of stuff that we'll talk about it. Yeah. But it's great. Anyway, here we go. Not to oversell it, but it's great. Alden, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, Power Rangers RPM. It is season 1, episode 10, and is this the last of the Disney seasons?
This is the last Disney season, and was supposed to be the last season period.
Yeah,
until Saban.
And then Saban gets it back, and then they start making mediocre to not good seasons based on the most recent.
Oh, this has been the last series.
Yeah,
we got out such a high.
I mean, maybe they'll bring it back. Maybe it'll get better. The Dino Charge isn't terrible, but I got bored with it.
And we haven't watched that Ninja Steel one. That's the reality show Power Rangers.
Yeah, which sounded hilarious. I haven't heard anybody talk about it either. I don't.
Is that the most recent version?
That's the current version.
Yeah, and I think they're already finished with the first season. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the Super one should be coming out soon. So I don't know, unless they're only halfway through that. But
because they started in like February or something.
So yeah, that should be done by now. I'm not sure how they splice those out though.
Know.
So yeah, well, because if they were going into the Super one, that would be the next year, right? Because they stretched them to 2 years now.
Yeah.
So anyway, episode 10, RPM. Get ready. Get it timestamp 0. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now.
And the end of this episode, Power Rangers of all time.
Really?
Yes.
And so I will say it. I keep saying for Power Rangers. This, for anything, has an actual decent character arc for a character.
Yeah.
Now, I don't love this theme song.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it either.
So for anyone that hasn't seen this show.
No.
For anyone that hasn't.
Yes, that is the iZombie girl. That's right.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize
that. She's a Ranger in this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
And she's such a great actress.
For anyone that hasn't seen this show, robots took over the world. We're in a dome city. Everything outside of that city is Mad Max.
Yeah, it's basically Power Rangers, Mad Max, and Terminator.
Shiny and chrome.
It's really cool. Like I never expected post-apocalyptic Power Rangers, much less for that to work. The car theme is kind of nothing.
And they address that.
Do they really?
Yeah, the car animals.
Oh, she's so young, dude. She's so young. Maybe I'm sorry.
Well, this is just really good bit, so I kind of just want to watch.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because this is where we get all the meta stuff.
Well, and they do it all the way through this.
Oh.
This is definitely one of the more watchable shows for adults. I'm not saying it's an adult show. There's this big explosion. This is a perfect explanation for this. Could that happen in the kitchen? And these actors are able to get more into this because the script is good.
Mm-hmm.
The sense of humor in this is a little similar. I mean, it's Power Rangers, but it's a little similar to Stargate Atlantis. And I'm not just saying that because they have a guy with a Scottish accent.
I love this.
Uh-oh. Flashback.
How much fun was that?
Rebel Justice Unleashed!
Volume 2.
Bagpipes. This is so preposterous.
He's got Scotland.
No, I know that, but it's like it's the most obvious thing to do.
It's the only thing you can do.
This kid is incredible. She said the magic words.
So if you watch the show through the beginning, every Ranger gets like a spotlight episode, and I think this is the last one.
Do they do flashbacks for all of them like this?
Yes.
That's great. I've got to sit down and watch the show.
The Yellow Ranger is like a super like rich, like uppity, almost like a Buffy kind of a character who goes through an arc. And
you know, honestly, once you get this self-aware and you have explanations for all the cheesy stuff, there's really nowhere left to go. That's kind of the problem with it, right?
Yeah,
is how do you do more Power Rangers after, unless you do something, unless you get to super serious Power Rangers.
The guy who show ran the first half of this, because he got fired halfway through because he spent all the budget in the first half of the season. He talks,
and you can see it on the screen.
He talks about the cars and the like googly eyes and the animals, or the animal cars and all of that, and how much he was so annoyed because he was like, I got to do a Power Rangers show and there's going to be this really dark, like really cool Power Rangers show, and I got a comedy season because the Sentai for this is comedy. It's also based around racing.
I love this. What is he, like jackhammer monster? What is he?
No, I think he's a cannon.
Oh, he's a
guy. I don't know.
Okay.
I think he's gonna laser into the earth.
I like her design a lot. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really cool, and she's a really cool character.
Okay, can I ask you the obvious question?
Sure.
Oh.
Is that a Judge Dredd helmet, or was she born with that?
No, that is a Judge Dredd.
Okay. That's what I figured.
Because the lines
hear
are
us?
blurred.
I thought maybe you lost us for a second.
I also really like these buddies. I forget what they're called, but I really like them.
They look like updated cogs, kind of.
Yeah. We didn't get to my favorite ones, which are the Time Force ones.
Those are great.
Because they do this when they run. That's the only reason they're my favorite.
I cannot believe how fast this marathon has gone by.
Yeah. No, it's not.
They're getting really in it with the camera angles and.
Yeah, some that's a little overdone. Yeah.
This guy.
I love the Green Ranger in this show. He's a thief. That's his backstory. The Black Ranger is Mad Max. We're introduced to him driving around in a muscle car, throwing bombs and stuff.
See, doesn't this feel like a really sad, terrible future, Eric?
Yeah.
Did they pick that guy up at Tron?
They do also do the phones, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. I'm so done with phone morphers.
Yeah. The phones are huge in Japan, man.
Give us something futuristic, like
Yeah. I gotta say,
futuristic.
I like those helmets a lot.
Phones are just right now. Why we had
The helmets are cool. I also like the wristy bits and how they're a little bit different on some of the suits. Like some of them have they're like cogs and some of them have wheels.
Right.
I like that.
You're right. Her design is really cool.
Yeah, that'd be an awesome cosplay.
And look, he just grew giant. They didn't wait till the end. We're way past convention now. I think the deal is in the original, in the Sentai, there's a base 3 and then they add 2, and that's why the wrists are different. But I'm not positive. I've never seen the show.
Does this show actually call them by number? Like they have numbers on them?
No, they're Ranger Green, Ranger Blue, Ranger.
Oh, okay, weird. Because they have numbers on them.
Yeah, it's because I think it's a racing show in Japan.
Yeah, because it's weird that
this is it. Wait, this is my favorite line in the entire series.
He said the magic words.
That's my favorite line in all of Power Rangers.
Really?
Yep.
I'm Scottish?
Well, I like the setup of where she's like, green's the fun one, red's the leader, black's a tough guy, pink's the girl. What do you do?
I'm a stereotype. And I love it. I want him to hang out with that robot in Zeo with a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
I want him to just have Orbis.
I think it's sword is.
Orbis! Take out this monster for me, Orbis!
So it's so insanely huge.
I'm a Scottish nightmare.
That's cool. The wheels are practical.
If only he had a Ranger bagpipe.
That'd be great.
Blasts waves.
My Ranger bagpipes.
I'm gonna hit you with a bagpipe blast.
These are the sounds of your death.
The sounds of vengeance, laddie.
The sounds of vengeance.
Sounds of Vengeance is gonna be my new band.
I want to apologize to any Scottish person watching this.
I semi-apologize. Just know I'm a big fan of your whole country.
Yeah, we're all jealous. That's why we're making fun of you. It's what
It's
what
true.
You do when you're jealous.
Like I do Merida impressions all the time. Out of jealousy.
For vengeance. The Scots are gonna get vengeance on us.
And I want to say, because this happens a lot during the Disney seasons where people try out for, and they don't get it, but next season they get it. I want to say the Black Ranger tried out for Red the previous season.
Oh, okay. What was the previous season? Jungle Fury?
Overdrive?
Overdrive.
Maybe?
Was that right before this? No.
Maybe.
I thought they had something in between.
Maybe it is Jungle Fury.
Because that's kind of 2 car seasons in a row, and I kind of don't think that would happen.
Right.
I think it's Jungle Fury, but I'll check.
Both Barry Allen and Nathan Snyder are both Scottish.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. Thanks for watching. Please don't leave. We're sorry.
So you guys are really enjoying this scene, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Hoping people isn't. Was his dad a police officer and gave him a car when he was a child, like a police car? Is that what happened?
That's kind of sophisticated for a kid show.
Got kicked off the force.
Save the goldfish.
Jungle Fury was before RPM. Wait. No, there's another set of episodes here. Hold on. Yeah, it was that, and then before that was Mystic Force. No, before that was Overdrive.
Okay, so it's Overdrive. Man,
Jungle
Casey's
Fury,
really close to
and
finishing this.
Yeah, he is. It's Mystic Force before Overdrive. Yeah, but he stopped watching Power Rangers for a while because he's watching Spectacular Spider-Man right now.
The Prime Directive.
Wow, they have to deal with both of those rules now?
An organic tennis racket.
And he's going to grow up and be a Power Ranger and have to deal with that whole don't escalate a fight thing. We kind of just dropped that, though, right?
So he's an organic Scottish Vengeance Ranger.
Yeah. Well, he's not really about vengeance.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, no.
They've got the organic tennis rackets.
Oh, boy.
That was incredible.
I like that they're making such a good case for this guy becoming a Power Ranger, and maybe that was the point of all those episodes. This is why they all get to be Rangers.
It always leads up to the first episode.
Yeah.
It's why they all earn it.
It feels like that's a big slam at the original series, where you're just like these kids just all knew each other, so they got to be Power Rangers.
Well, it's not a slam. It's we didn't do it that well. We're gonna do it better.
Yeah.
But it also really lets you get to know all the individual characters, which is nice.
Does she have a V on her belt, gentlemen? I believe she does.
She does, because the bad guy in this is
for vengeance.
The bad guy in this is V something. I can't remember. It's really generic. He's a computer virus. I can't remember what his name is. Venger?
The way
Vengeance?
she just typed on those keyboards with her hands crossed threw me off.
That's how Genesis type.
You know, both of those things sound a lot like vengeance.
A vengeance mechanic.
I want to say that for other things. Like, I may be a simple hamburger flipper, but I'm still a hamburger flipper. I may be a simple gravedigger, but I'm still
At this point, like, I like this guy so much, I want a whole Highlander, like, force. That should be a whole season.
And once again, like I was saying with Dino Thunder, these guys can all act, right?
Yeah. Well, one of them's on iZombie.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like a Power Rangers show, but only because they know what they're making, right? Like,
yeah.
You're clearly looking at competence here. You're clearly looking at people that could make something that's not Power Rangers. And I think in every aspect, really. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell with some of the cinematography because we're clearly going crazy overboard because we're making Power Rangers, but... Oh, yeah, this scene is really good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the rest of the scene later is really good.
When we finally flash back to it.
Well, the bad news is I'm a zombie. And...
Vengeance.
Oh, wow. Red Leader just pointed out that the Red Ranger here is Malcolm and Jessica Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Man, he totally is.
Yeah.
Wow,
and
we got
I
two.
knew that, but I had forgotten about it. Isn't that wild?
Yeah. Oh, he's so young.
Wow.
I mean, it's a proving ground.
Yeah.
She's so young. It's
And this
really
was 09, right?
Yeah.
Man.
It's really weird seeing her as a teenager or just after being a teenager.
It's weird that it's been that long since 09. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Yeah, you think you don't like that.
I really don't, but
I've had 2 kids since then, dude. This was out a year after I got married. Yeah, this would have been the show that was on when we started the channel.
This is not a good Megazord.
This was the year of X-Men Origins Wolverine.
No, isn't it amazing that they made such a good show out of a not very good-looking aesthetic at all?
Well,
these suits aren't that good.
Part of it's because it's I like these suits, but
okay, I don't like them that much.
But part of it's because it's a comedy season.
Right.
They ran the same issue as Turbo. It's
Except
also
Turbo made a comedy season that wasn't funny.
It's also funny because when they go back to this universe when they go back to this in Super Megaforce, because the Sentai footage, it's a racing world. It's just about racing for no reason.
I just love that they managed to integrate this humor so well, where it's hilarious and the darkest thing Power Rangers ever made. Like,
I enjoy this Mad Max stuff here.
I don't think it probably has any place where there's a guy that tries to kill his dad by leaping and grabbing him and jumping off of the side of a cliff.
See, I want a Power Rangers
that
has it all. I want attempted patricide and comedy.
Backstory so bad. I'm sorry, what?
I was saying I want a season that has it all. Attempted patricide and some comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all I ask.
And the most and the most unlikely reasonable father of all time.
This is great.
Wow.
Not today, lassie.
He broke a putty twice.
Yep.
With the door and wheels of a school bus. In case you're not watching, that's what just happened. It's pretty cool. You should probably watch this episode.
Everyone should be watching this episode. It's really good.
It's really good.
This guy's awesome.
Yeah. And all the Rangers are awesome. Like, when you get into their backstories, they're all cool.
I can't wait to see an entire episode about iZombie Girl.
I think hers is a 2-parter.
Cool.
Yep.
Does she turn out to be a zombie? She doesn't turn out to be a zombie. Is she typecast because she was a zombie in the show?
Yes.
And then, really?
What? I don't know.
I don't believe you.
I was turning you out, sorry. I was paying attention to this really emotional scene
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
where Shad tells me he's proud of him. Man, it's another Father Son episode.
V's
Is
everywhere.
that all of my episodes?
Yeah.
All my episodes were father-son
stories.
episodes.
Yep. You're like Vince. You're just a sucker for those.
I guess so.
I am such a sucker for them too.
So I think we probably talked over the places where we would have seen it, but one of the things I loved about this when I saw it before was that they even explain what happens with the costumes when they morph. Like,
yeah, they're in an alternate dimension.
Not in this. In this, they're in this. The suits themselves are in their command center, and they disappear and show up on them. And I just think it's so cool that they have those suits on display.
They travel through an alternate dimension, and that's what causes.
I don't think that explanation is in this episode.
I think she said that earlier.
Oh, really? Okay.
She said something about an alternate dimension. That's why he can't morph right now. Is something with the.
That's really cool. But just the fact that they have them sitting somewhere where you can see them, and then they disappear when they morph. I think part of the reason I love that is because that's what I always thought you should do with it.
Mm.
Why did you spin in your chair?
She was looking at him.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was a little dramatic, but or now under dramatic. I'm not sure which.
She has Polaris's headpiece now, or Scarlet Witch's.
Yeah. Imagine how.
Oh, maybe this is the scene where it happens. I forget. It's so weird that this isn't really a car show, but they still steer into the car stuff.
Yeah.
Like earlier, one of them spun, and you heard like a peel out sound. It was like, and the Ranger was spinning. The soundtrack is weird.
It's all techno-y. You would like it if you had robot ears.
I don't, though. I don't know what that's like. It's the sound of the future, you guys. Yeah, and I love that they pay this
This
off.
is such a good payoff.
It's brilliant. This is real writing, you guys. I'm not even being facetious. Like, it's really good.
So he dials 2.
Although based on what we...
It's so cool!
Based on the explanation earlier, I'm not sure that you could make it happen like that.
What, that
doesn't seem like you would always know when the explosion would happen.
But he knew it was going to happen because that's why she wouldn't let him morph.
Oh, that's right. Oh, you know what? He has a whole technobabble thing about like reversing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But it's so cool that you use it. You weaponize the morph explosions.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Man, whatever group of writers they brought in for this series, like they were students of the game in Power Rangers.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are legitimate shows you wish they were on.
They were eager to like implement ideas that they probably had watching earlier series.
I'll go this far. Like, let this team try their hand at Legends. Seriously.
Or seriously, please.
Seriously.
I love the Yellow Ranger Zord because it's got the silliest googly eyes.
See, you keep saying googly eyes, and I wish they actually did like move around.
Well, they do move around a little bit.
Do they really? Do they bounce? Wow. Like you made them with like a paper mache project?
Only when they're like in like the CG form, but yeah.
This Megazord is so bad.
Brandon Routh would be a great Power Ranger.
Oh,
he would be a great Power Ranger.
Now that you said that, yeah, he'd be a great Power Ranger.
I mean, he's a little old now, but he can still pull it off.
Exactly.
Ranger Series Blue. Doesn't matter. I'm not that good of a mechanic. Yeah, I might be a simple mechanic, but I'm still he might be a simple grocery shopper. It's kind of this is another thing I like about the show is that the show is still running through the credits.
Yeah, and sometimes it'll be like a gag scene, and sometimes it's like this where it's the actual ending of it. It's like they had so much story to tell, they just had to keep running.
There's something classy about it, though.
Yeah.
Aw, this is touching.
I don't know how this is Power Rangers, you guys. And then Lion King. Well, folks, that is the end of our marathon, and it is almost midnight here. So we took a little less than 4 hours because we started late because we had internet issues, but that did not feel like 4 hours.
No, it just flew by.
That was nuts. Like I could do another 2 or 3. We're not going to because we have other things to do. But I cannot believe that we're already done. Anyway, folks, thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did, and we're looking forward to doing another one of these. I don't have a hard date yet, but sometime in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to come back and do Buffy, because it is the anniversary
Angel,
this
right?
year. Buffy and Angel, that's right.
We're each going to pick one of each.
We're each going to pick one episode of each show, and do a few hours of Buffy. And Alden, I hope you're able to come back for that one, because I know you're a big fan.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely want to do that one, especially with Angel.
We should see if we have enough time to let Alden pick at least one. If you're able to be there, buddy. Anyway, folks, thanks for being here, and we're going to go ahead and let you go. And in the meantime, I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
And this was our wonderful, incredible intern, Alden.
And that's Lord Zedd.
And this is Lord Zedd. See you later, folks.